Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Kev, and this is BMBBH. Thank you for tuning in to everyone. And if you're watching the replay, thank you as well. Please hit the like button on the way in. And if you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Yes, we are here to talk about Cam Newton. And first off, happy Easter to those of you who still follow such traditions. If you don't, then just ignore just what I just said. All right. Also, I thought that it would be a great idea that I start doing sponsors, and I'll announce this again periodically throughout the night. But tonight, the sponsor for tonight's stream is Greg. How you become a sponsor? For the next stream is that you just have to be the highest donor, whether it be Cash App or whether it be that super chat. And the Cash App is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Um, and it's just an acknowledgement of your support for the uh, broadcast and what we do over here. Well, what I do over here on BMBBH. Yeah, and let me just say something to black men, especially on this platform. Um, Listen up, fellas. Look, you have a golden opportunity when you are able to come up to any platform and speak your piece and speak what's on your mind and you have to understand as black men is that we're not going to have the approval of everyone that when we do such. So what we have to do is we have to and I've already said this, assert our thought processes and assert what we believe in, but it's 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 a way to do it. And we have to, and I'm not telling grown people what to do, we have to do it responsibly, whether you feel like that you are in a gender war or you which I don't believe exists. I think people are just being silly with that crap. Or you want to get a message to black men to just try a little bit. So um, my thing has always been is like as black men when we step up here to platforms and we assert ourselves in this society that we should be better than everyone else. And I truly believe that we are better than everyone else, but I don't believe that all of us believe that. And and uh, yeah, the vulgarity and frankness in my speech is going to increase as this broadcast go along. So when I say this, I say out of love. We have this nigga mentality, and because of this nigga mentality, we have a capacity to gravitate more toward. Let me see. We have a capacity to gravitate more toward fuckery than productive combos or at least good combos. And everybody always puts the weight and the onus on us coming up with solutions for whatever problems that we may be experiencing in the black part of Western society. Black, well, melanated African American, whatever terminology that you want to go by. And look, that's okay. You're always going to meet certain challenges when you are a person that not really so much a person because we do understand that when we're in Western civilization that there are people who have the honor and the privilege of saying what they want to say. Black men, you're always going to meet the challenges because when you're not saying things in a conformist manner, you are always going to offend someone. And a lot of the cases that is of their black men. So just something that we might need to work on to improve. But Um, just wanted to say those few words, and uh, let's get to it now. Cam Newton. Okay. I first ran across Cam Newton because I'm from the state of Alabama. If anybody doesn't know, and you know, we don't have professional teams down there, but we have a big history in college football sports. And we have a couple of, well, maybe we have three prominent HBCUs: Alabama State University, Tuskegee University, and Alabama A&M University. But um, one the two biggest colleges that everybody always seems to talk about and gravitate toward is the University of Alabama and Auburn University. And when you're from Alabama, you are made to make the choice between the two colleges. And one thing that I always wondered why is why didn't black people choose, uh, to be fans of the black universities instead of, I mean, the HBCUs instead of the two bigger, and I say this very loosely, predominantly white colleges. And although that fact has always kind of plagued me quite a bit, uh, being from the state of Alabama, I fell into that. And a lot of people chose the University of Alabama, even before Nick Saban. And I gotta give Nick Saban his due. He really did a lot. He did a lot for the University of Alabama's football program. Multiple championships, multiple national championships. But I didn't choose the University of Alabama. I chose Auburn University. So when Cam Newton became quarterback that year, I think the year they Auburn started out ranked like number 22 or something like that. And because of Cam Newton, I have to say this, they had an undefeated streak that year. And boy, was I happy about it because all of my friends were Alabama fans. I had a couple of friends that were Auburn fans, but most of which were Alabama fans. And like, all the years that Alabama was winning, got on my nerves. So Cam Newton, like, yeah, huge guy, and a hell of an athlete and a hell of a quarterback, led Auburn to a national championship. And it was, I said, I was very happy about it. And I had been a fan of Cam Newton ever since. When Cam Newton went to the Carolina Panthers, I became a fan of the Carolina Panthers. And once he started getting that money, I started noticing some things about Cam Newton, basic in particular, the way he dressed. Now, look, like some of my favorite people dress real funny, but some not to the extreme that Cam Newton did. Like I would say Andre 3000. Yeah, yeah, he started dressing weird and weird by he was unorthodox. He stepped outside of the box, but Cam Newton kind of lean more toward like dressing in such a abstract and many would say feminine way. And it's just like, look, look, I've always told people I'm not gonna agree 100% with what a person says and what a person does, you know but I always try to get people to understand is that when you're on that side of it, that it's going to be a different set of rules, and not that it's a major excuse, to I would say dress more like a female. Look, Cam Newton is still a black man at the end of the day. So whether you agree with what I'm saying or whether you disagree with what I'm saying, that's up to you. But I just said that I don't do things and I don't say things with the anticipation that everyone will agree with what I say, and that is okay with me. That is okay with me. So Cam Newton never to be on the one short of controversy. Yeah, yeah. Let me just say this: that year that the Carolina Panthers made it to the Super Bowl, uh, and they played the Denver Broncos, and it was Peyton Manning's retirement game. Man, let me tell you something. The way Carolina performed in that game and lost, no one was more disappointed than me because I really thought that Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers were going to steamroll past the Denver Broncos, and I was just like, wow, it's like I didn't know that they were going to take the L like that. It was just very disappointing to me. And Cam Newton, um, in my estimation, did not live out to his fullest potential. Um, as far as him, as far as him being a quarterback in the NFL, but that's the black quarterback situation is kind of messed up in the NFL, and really, that's neither here nor there at this point. Uh, so, oh yeah, by the way, welcome to another Any Given Sunday. And the irony of that title is it's a movie about football. So, Cam Newton being a football player, I hope you guys can see it. But let me go through some of these comments real quick. Yeah, we got 21 in the building, and hopefully, you guys are hitting the like button as you come in. Uh, yeah, let me see some of these comments before we get into the topic. Oh, before I went on the air, hurry up and buy was here, and we here. What's going on, fellas? If you're still here, if not, hopefully you come back to the broadcast. I'll probably end up saying hurry up and buy again. We here, just very respectable brother. His platform is growing. Make sure y'all go over to his broadcast sometime and support the brother, and subscribe. As a matter of fact, Indigenous TV, what is up? Let's tear some shot up, Kev. Graveyard shift clocking in. Exactly. Exactly. Now, and then he corrects himself. Shit. Cut Dog LS, what's going on? Judge Dre, what is up? The Roger Report. Long live the habitual line steppers. Oh, and he just got done himself doing a broadcast. So if you're over here because of him, I like to thank the Roger Report for looking out for me. And that's my habitual line stepper brother. Um, Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. One of the real ones that, come to these broadcasts every time I'm on the air. And you know what? Like I said, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate my audience. I really appreciate y'all keeping it 100 in the chat, and not, you guys just make my day or make my weekend every weekend. So yeah, there he goes. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live, brother. And I'll check the Roger Report out Monday through Friday mornings. The best show on YouTube Monday through Friday morning. Yeah, you should have known I was gonna say that. Toya the tutor, what's going on? Good to see you as always. Uh, we got Black Wealth and Power in the house. It said, "Tell the truth and shame the devil about the nigga mentality." Yeah, it's something that's pretty fucked up for us, and it's a hindrance. But we have people who often gravitate to it and think it's a fun thing. They think life is boring without it, and that's just not the case. But we got to learn, and we're not perfect. Uh, so is thanks you for stopping by. And like I said, for any of you who haven't hit that subscribe button, if you're new to this channel, please go below this screen and hit the subscribe button. Whether you're watching from your smartphone or if you're watching from your laptop computer, or I mean, if you're on a game console, I think there's some way to hit subscribe, but it is what it is. What about Tuskegee University? Like I said, one of the prominent HBCUs in the state of Alabama. Uh, and I really believe that as Black people, we should start leaning more support toward the HBCUs. And really, I would encourage everybody who has a Black athlete in their family to send their kid to the HBCU. I mean, it's not going to lessen the chances of them being looked at by the NFL if enough of you guys go. But I can't tell you what to do. uh, we got AKS1, or Ask One. The O line laid down in that game. They sure did. Oh, look, the great pretender, the great pretender. What's going on? Uh, let's see who else. Jamal Jackson. Let us blame Whitey on behalf of the black mothers who gleefully contract with Planned Parenthood to have their unborn babies torn to pieces and sold piecemeal. Mm, yeah, that's a that's a conversation maybe for another time. Uh, Planned Parenthood promotes abortion relentlessly among blacks. 80% of PP, 60 efficient abortion mills located in inner city areas with black populations above 50% at American Life League. Uh, or no, that's not an ampersand, but yeah, you and infantry skills need to have a conversation then. Dasparel, what's going on? Yeah, so let's get to it. Indigenous TV would ever argue pre Michael Vick QB was athletic. It just took that M. It's just that MV took it to the next level. Okay, all right. So let's get to what is going on. It seems that every time a black man has to say something about, I would say, his preferences, that it seems to have this controversial spin on it. Like it's so controversial, especially when it comes to speaking of women and what our preferences in women are, and what we believe women should be. Believe me, and I'm not really a tit for tat person. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, whether whatever women are saying or not. But women have always been allowed to be very vocal on what they believe about men, uh, and it's only fair because here's my distinct belief that people are adults, and when you come to platforms, forums, conversational tables, or whatever, if there are adults sitting at that table, adults should be able to speak like adults. You know, if you are above the age, quite frankly, if you are above the age of 18, and you're an adult in this country, especially if you are above the age of 21. So handling you with kid gloves, physically is one thing, and I don't believe in being physical unless I have to defend myself, or I'm working out, or just But like as far as physical aggression, uh, I will defend myself. But as far as talking and having conversations, look, if you jump in the conversation and you say something stupid, your gender does not matter. Period. So let's get to it, because I know you because I know y'all here to listen to me talk about Cam Newton. Like I said, Cam Newton is probably one of my all-time favorite athletes. Like I said, and he did not reach his full potential, but he is a millionaire. So if anything, he accomplished wealth for himself and his children. So we have to at least give the man a pat on the back for that. And he's a black man who is very accomplished in he is what many would probably refer to in his time in YouTube as a high value man. Well, yeah, but this past week, he appeared on a podcast. I'm not sure what podcast that was, and what he had to say was deemed very controversial. Now, I don't know if I'm desensitized to controversy or not, but it wasn't very controversial to me. It wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole, or I don't understand how comments like that can be controversial because I'm not a female. Maybe I'm not being sensitive to people's feelings or whatever. Although I never saw much sensitivity for people and how they approach me as far as my feelings. But hey, you know what? Well, that's one of the major reasons why I speak the way I speak, and why I don't handle adults with kid gloves when it comes to conversation. Because I mean, especially for, and I'm going to say this for females that call themselves bad bitches. Now, where I grew up from, where I'm from, it was offensive to a female to call her a bitch. I understand if I call, even in 2022, if I call a female a bitch, I'm going to get a negative reaction. So I have a tendency to try. Well, let me stop lying. I try to stay away from that. But I'm sorry, some of y'all just bitches at this point. So let me pull up what these controversial comments were. All right, yeah. Shoot, maybe I'll find an article to read and to go along with, because when I googled it, a lot of the article titles were extremely funny in how they tried to frame what Cam Newton said. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, see, yeah, I found one in particular which had his comments. Uh, yeah, and pay no attention to my history. But this particular one said NFL quarterback Cam Newton goes on a sexist rant. It's like, good God. So fair use. I got fair use going scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So let's hear it.
Bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm
Yeah.
doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a woman for me is
Fair
handling your
use.
own, but knowing how to cater
Fair
to
use.
a man's needs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't
Right.
know. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't
Right.
know how to allow a man to lead. Bad bitch is a person who's
I'm sorry. Say you a bad bitch, but you can't cook. All right. So, question for the chat: what did he say that was wrong? What did he say that was wrong? Some men just prefer, women that can cook. I mean, he's not saying it didn't. He's not saying bad bitch as a way that you shouldn't be a bad bitch, but if you understand, this is coming from a married man. If you're gonna be a bad bitch, you got to be a bad bitch in every way. You can't just be a bad bitch and then be an idiot as far as in everything else except showing your ass on Instagram and TikTok. have some skill behind that shit. You know, it's like, and what y'all call yourselves bad bitches for anyway? Shit. How about I'm a woman or some shit like that? At least the feminists know how to do that. Not to, you know, not to give any kind of credit to the feminists because, I've said this in the past. I don't see how women can sit up there and call, or anybody in the black community call themselves a feminist. Like, shut the hell up. Shoot. But like, what did he say that was wrong? I wanna see something in the comments. Hurry up and buy. Yeah, hurry up and buy with the shits. And so is hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Yeah, hurry up and buy said, man, I'm just tired, bro. Honestly, it's always a motherfucker with a social media account who always got to make it about them. Hey, that's how it is. That's how it is. Hybrid says he was absolutely right. Oh, hurry up and buy. Thank you for the super chat. He says, if I say you can't cook and you can't cook and wait for it, then bitch you can't cook. I blame us men for allowing if we stop accepting sex from no cooking bees, maybe we can change it, but too many won't. Yeah, and I totally get that. There are a bunch of simps out there. It's like, and I'm afraid that those guys are not going to help us with this. It's a very small group of men that still believe in traditional values. And the thing is about that is, with as far as traditional value go, they want a traditional man, but don't want to be a traditional woman. They want a man that can pay all the bills and take care of them and protect them and provide for all their needs. But they don't want to at least be able to cook. Now, look, like as far as women being offended by what Cam Newton said, and I said this on the Roger Report the other day. Cam Newton just told you girls, just told y'all how to get a man that's worth $75 million. Cam Newton's net worth is $75 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's why, you know, it's like I said, even though he dresses in a way that I would never dress, like for real, I'm not gonna go to a Halloween party dressed as a tooth fairy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna wear leggings. I'm not gonna do all that. That man is still worth $75 million. So I'm sure that whenever he hears critical comments on the way he dresses, and there's a few male YouTubers that took a lot of exception to what Cam Newton said. I'm sure he's crying like Woody Harrelson in Zombieland, like wiping his eyes away with $100 bills. Oh, hurry up and buy with another super chat. I really appreciate it. He said they are offended because he's telling the truth. Yeah, and hopefully you guys are here tomorrow night because I'm gonna talk about another person who offended everyone with the truth tomorrow night, Tashina Arnold, and I do have quite the perspective on that. Well, what's going on, Greg? I don't know if you was here earlier, but you are the sponsor for tonight's stream. You are the sponsor for tonight's stream for your generous Cash App donation, and I really appreciate it. So, just wanted to let you know that. So, yeah. So, Indigenous TV, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, I already acknowledged you. He said all they got to do is suck something and cook. That's literally all they have to do, Kev. It's a standard lower than passing grade on a DMV written test. Exactly. 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 It's like can't like for these bad bitches. Imagine life would be a lot better for them if they just show up to the door of the fucking cookbook and I mean like nobody's saying that you shouldn't be wearing tight dresses and showing your ass, but at least be of some value besides that. And whatever bitch gets offended by that, then so the fuck be it. I mean, these same bad bitches saying niggas that are broke don't deserve sex, and for some reason, broke niggas still getting sex. you know, shoot. So, let me see. I tried to find like one person in particular that was offended by it was this Kayla Nicole. Kayla Nicole. And I really tried to find where her tweet was, where she actually uh, said what she said. As I watched it, and I was like, you're annoying." So I did pull up an article. However, I really wish I could find the clip so I can show you guys. Maybe I'll find it throughout this broadcast because we still have maybe a couple hours to go, and I'll probably open up the panel for this one. But let's see. What's up, Jamil Solward? Says, LOL, it's fun walking into a room hearing Kev talk about black women not cooking. Shit. Hey, look, my wife knows how to cook, so I know what that's like to live with a woman that can cook. But I mean, is I mean, and I know how to cook. I cooked as a profession for quite some time, so it ain't like I really, really just need her to do that. But she was brought up. She was brought up on traditional values, and that was a good thing for me. And is what she was, and plus the fact that she was really good to her father. I mean, granted, her mother passed away some years ago, so she that's what really attracted me to her. The fact that she did work and can carry the duties of a traditional woman, and the fact that she is so good with my daughter, our daughter, by the way. You know, my daughter's in the gifted program at her school. So we're so far so good. But yeah, this headline right here reads: Travis Kelce's girlfriend Kayla Nicole rips bozo Cam Newton's views on women. And yeah, the way that the mainstream media has reported these, in strong quote fingers, controversial comments on Newton's views on women. I mean, they should have put bad bitches in the article because that's exactly what he was talking about. But let's see if we can see some important parts in this article right here. It says Kayla Nicole, and it's kind of hard to trust women with two first that go by two first names. That absolutely do nothing but stand there and just try to look pretty. Say Kayla Nicole, the girlfriend of superstar Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, went double barrel at Cam Newton over the quarterback's controversial video about his preferred roles for men and women. And like and it seems like every time a woman has some shit to say about a man or a black man, and it's just some shit, it's some attitudinal shit, then it's like everybody. I mean, you ever had a woman say something about you, and then there are some guys that's like, "Ooh, god damn, she got you." This is how I feel about how everyone reacted to Kayla Nicole, uh, you know, so-called quote unquote roasting Cam Newton. And I've always said that there's very few people that know how to roast in 2022 because roasting is very subjective. Some people think calling another man gay is roasting. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it right there? Oh God, view the story. Just view the story. No, that's not the way in. That's her looking good. That's her looking good again. No, she looks great, but I need to see the comments. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's all she's doing. Okay, so that ain't it. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but it does quote what she said. Um, just bear with me for one moment, guys. Oh, damn it. I hate these little pop up ads on these damn websites. And okay, here's what she's quoted as saying. She said, I saw the interview. I haven't said nothing about it because I think it's foolish. We have to keep having the same tired conversation about the qualities that make a woman of substance. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me scroll down a little bit. And this is Kayla Nicole. And yeah, and by the way, women, especially women like that, I'm not saying that it's wrong to date interracially, but if you're going to show that kind of attitude toward a black man and you are dating a lily white guy, and by the Travis Kelce is worth $12 million, by the way, so he's a millionaire as well. Yeah, and that's probably one of the key reasons why she's dating him, besides the skin color. If you're going to have that attitude publicly, people are going to refer to you as a bed wench. So let me keep scrolling down. You know, she said, this man said that you need to know how to cook and when to be quiet because that's what his mama did. Like, boy, go thank your mama did. And then she goes on to say, a lot of y'all want to be with your mama, and it shows. All right, listen up, guys. What is everybody's obsession with incest? It's like every time you get into these kinds of discussions, especially with our people, it seems like the Oedipus complex comes out. It's like, look, and I've said this repeatedly, and I said that again. The average single man ain't trying to have sex with his mama. So bringing up our mothers, that's an absolute moot point, and it's stupid. And you look stupid saying it, especially from a bed wench. I mean, and she's with a guy that can afford to hire someone. So let's not act like let's not act like that's not the case. So, oh, here it is again.
I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a three-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch,
Okay, what's the difference?
a woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm
Yeah.
doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman.
Well, the word bitch. See, this is where it gets quite confusing. The word bitch, anyway. And I mean, like, I'm not saying Cam is wrong for it. It's just that if a woman is calling herself a bitch, then you're welcoming all kinds of comments to be flaying your way. So let's go on and continue the article. And I mean, like, don't come around me calling yourself a bitch because I'll be like, bitch, shut up, bitch, bitch, what you expect? I'm gonna be just like that. And here she is continuing to be a smart ass because, see, this is what everyone in the media, blah, 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 considers roasting. Like I said, me motherfuckers don't know what roasting is in this day and age. But she goes on to say, the obsession with women being able to cook is truly comical. Because it's like if your palate is so superior, date a Michelin star chef, then bozo. Pretty sure the average woman is capable of making edible food. How do you think she survived thus far? It's not really a matter of can she cook is more like, does she want to cook for your hungry hippo ass? Ooh, oh my God. Ooh, ooh, she got him. She got, I know that's what some of y'all niggas are saying. And then here she goes on further to say, that man ain't had a job in months. He has nothing but time to be quiet and get that ass in the kitchen. So that was the little unemployed dig. Okay, again, this man is worth $75 million. He doesn't need to work. Yeah, see, that's that bad bitch logic. Oh, let's replace the word bad with stupid bitch logic. Yeah, it's like, okay, why would he need to? Why would he need to? And that's the laughable part. Now, look, now a lot of people saying that Cam Newton is being extremely hypocritical because he created a single mother. He he said things about traditional women, but he didn't participate in an activity where, in an activity that would make, that would say, hey, you know what? Um, he didn't create the traditional woman in his own life. He created a single mother. But still, at the end of the day, that's still that man's opinion. And why would he? He can have his opinion all he wants. You know, and I don't even see where he said, "I want a traditional woman." He said he knew what a woman was growing up in a three-parent home with his mother and his grandmother, and his mother, was with his father for 36 years. And by the way, I think Cam Newton's father is a preacher, by the way. Um, so, like, the mama comment that Kayla Nicole made, um, you know, is not that he wants to be with his mother. He just saying because of his mother, he knows what a real woman is. And at the end of the day, what's wrong with that? Because every time a black man has something to say about the way these women act and behave these days, a lot of the times, maybe 90 to 95% of the time, and possibly 98%, these women are always saying something to the effect of, uh, cue the drum roll, yo mama black. They remind us that we have a black mother or any other black relative that we have that is a female. So why even bring up the little incest part if all you're going to do is try to use the man's mother to shame anyway? You have a black mother. How can you say that about like, and all of us who have had these conversations have always like heard this kind of thing. Yeah. Greg Greg says, for 75 million, Cam don't need to cook. He can hire one. Yeah, exactly. And Black Wealth and Power, men don't create single mothers. Okay, yeah. Travis, Ivan Ray, what's going on? He said, if I'm Travis Kell and I'm looking at this, she is showing him who she is. I'm dumping this Kayla Nicole heifer like a bad habit for embarrassing me and disrespecting my NFL brethren. Uh, you know, Travis Kell probably got some quote unquote bad bitches on the side anyway. Like, and I believe that he's been a part of controversy himself. I'm not real sure. Indigenous TV hybrid, this punt pass and kick 304 is out of her skis. Uh, Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power says these women say my body, my choice. After they have the baby, all of a sudden they say it takes two. Yep, yep, exactly. And the one thing that I do have to push back on people who say stuff like, "Well, he created a single mother." Yeah, it in fact takes two, but at the same time, if a woman gets pregnant due to a sexual encounter, it's because she wanted to. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. If she gets pregnant, she wanted to. It's not a "you got me pregnant." And that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Oh, and Indigenous TV just confirmed something. This is about Travis Kelce. He cheated on her with a Becky. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, he and that's the one thing about, like, white folks. They know how to go back and forth with this shit. So it's that after conception, men have zero productive rights. Yeah, yeah, and this space, we're supposed to be moving toward, like I said, fighting for men's rights, but we always find ourselves in conversations that, you know, like this. And I mean, like, there are a couple of content creators that, that focus on men's rights and men's mental health. So let me see who wants to come up. See if anyone wants to come up and be a part. Like I said before, like, as far as panels go, I be good on panels for the most part, but sometimes you got to get the other person's perspective. Another black man's perspective. Hurry Up and Buy says breaking news: Lifetime is doing a documentary on Trey Songz like they did R. Kelly. This shit is ridiculous. We need to find out who keeps greenlighting this bullshit on masculine black men. Hey, look, listen up. Lifetime is that kind of network. Lifetime is a network that is run by feminists. And if, like, and the funny part about the Oprah network, Oprah tried to do the same thing, but these black women that are quote unquote feminists did not support it like that. And that is always like the goofiest shit. But hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power said there's talk of a male birth control. Uh, yeah, yeah. They said that their pill. I think they got a pill now, and they're gonna start testing it or put it on the market later this year, or something like that. And for men who want to make that choice, that is your prerogative. You know, but they focus on male birth control like it's some kind of, you know, solution to the woman's stupidity, because they have so many options in birth control. And they'll swear up and down, well, I truly know, all birth control doesn't work. No, let me tell you this. If you are a woman and you're having unprotected sex and you're getting pregnant, it's because you wanted to get pregnant. Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Indigenous TV said he dumped her Kev and then took her back. Her energy changed because while she was single, she was suddenly posting BLM pro black shit on her IG. As soon as Brad took her back, that shit went silent. Yeah, virtue signaling is not real. I'll tell you that much. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says indigenous talk about a fake shapeshifter mystique from X-Men type shit. Well, he meant Mystique. Fake BLM. Yeah, BLM is fake anyway though. It's like using the deaths of black men to get rich. and no real benefit to the black community. And I remember a few years back that BLM was doing a school tour, and it was supposed to focus on the rights of black people. But when you looked at the curriculum that they had, it was mostly LGBT stuff. Black Wealth and Power said, "Why are women the only one with productive rights? What about the man?" Because a long time ago, you had men that were in power that gave up that power to the women. You every time it seems like men are in power, like as a lot of these men become simps. And Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power makes a really decent point. Says you can't force a woman to have or not have the baby. Correct. If she like, because the word abortion comes up in this space quite often. And then you even have a YouTuber that is pushing to abort the black male babies. And although that's pretty malicious to say that, these women are showing you directly when they say that, my body, my choice. So I don't want to hear all this shit about, and you guys are absolutely correct. He got me pregnant. You got pregnant because you wanted to. So we have the Roger report. Long live the habitual line steppers. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? I don't know what's going on right at the moment. My sounds terrible. Like I got a bad connection. I may have to dip out and come back.
Well, I hear
Can
you
you even
very.
hear me?
I can hear you very clearly over here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You just went on mute. Okay, but
I'm back. There it is. There it
okay.
is.
Hey,
All right.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak.
Yeah. I'm gonna say there when it comes to this Cam situation now, you know, the man's got a great situation going on. Period. Nobody should really be tripping about what his situation is. And because he's a man with so much success, you may not like his opinion, but who is really? He done did everything he needs to do as a man. If he actually wants to go somewhere and sit down for the rest of his life and go fishing, he's actually done that already. He's created generational wealth. He can afford to take care of anybody he brings into his life. He's good to go. Like you why, we gotta ask ourselves, why are women so against a woman acting like a woman? Because that's really what this comes from. Women are offended that Cam Newton wants a woman that acts like a woman. That's so dysfunctional in itself.
Yeah, it is. Let me give a shout out to Gyogami for the cash app. Appreciate it. It says greeting to Kev and all LLTHLS. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live. And Black Wealth and Power, the Roger Report text. So I got a super chat because of you, man. So I knew you were useful some kind of way, bro. So yeah, I thank you. I thank you guys for your support. Seriously. So yeah, but
Appreciate
like, go ahead. Yeah. So at the end of the day, and if I didn't say it, yeah, I did say this. Cam Newton actually told you girls how to get a $75 million man. Now he can purchase any woman he wants at any given time. Take her on a shopping spree and send her away in an Uber. I mean, he can do that, but and regardless of him having a baby mama instead of a wife, how do we know that that situation is not on her and not just him? You tell men to watch who you have a baby with, but maybe he anticipated marrying this woman one day and it didn't work out quite like that. But by any by any stretch, that kid or children are very taken care of. They're very taken care of. So we shouldn't really have that much to say about it. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, and including us, unless you a space alien or something like that. And that's always that possibility. We live in a world with billions of people, but but saying, "Oh, Rael, what's going on?" He said something to Hybrid, saying, "Not surprised at all. Many are mentally dead." Oh, but yeah, he was responding to say there's a divester on Dennis Sperling channel that was wearing a Confederate flag design face mask. I was disgusted. Yeah, she's on Facebook. She always talking that, you know, she's always talking that stuff, and it's just that I believe Dennis Sperling won that exchange because I watched the exchange myself. A lot of these guys around here, they would say that he tried to and people feel the way they feel about Dennis, but I mean, he made some good points. You just got that Confederate flag on your face just to pander to them, and you trying to play that little game like you're on their side. Like Dennis Sperling was saying, like, I learned how to speak Spanish, just to get Latino chicks, and it worked. you know. So, and I can kind of see why. Okay, so let's see. We got Judge Dre. Shoot, what it is?
How are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by once again. I'm sure you have some gems to add to this conversation.
Well, I stopped in earlier, and that's what you were talking about, like kind of like what we want. Is that what you're still on? I just came back when I came in. I saw the link was posted.
Well, the subject was, Cam Newton's controversial
Right, yeah.
comments.
You're
So
still okay. Good. Yeah, this is the problem where, and I hate to say this, but basically they've made it to where black men especially have been pushed down to the bottom, where anything is, you're supposed to accept anything, and you're not allowed to have anything. You're not allowed to ask for any requests whatsoever. And the problem with that is a lot of men, they're worried about like this space really bringing, oh no, y'all men are over here just bashing women or this, that, and the other. I hate to say, it's not really your own life experiences has brought them that way, and men have just gotten to the pact where, well, hey, if I'm not allowed to ask for anything, and if I can't, because it's frowned upon, if anything I want is frowned upon, so what is it like? Hey, I'm just gonna go say, if I can't ask for anything, I'm not even going to pursue a relationship because it's not worth it. I mean, I was talking to a female today, and I said, for a woman not to be able to get a black male, that really means that you really have nothing to offer, because black men want the least amount from their women. I mean, basically, the main thing that they would want is a little cooperation, not submission. Even though people say submission, and what's so bad? I sit there and laugh. These women, submission is not a bad word. We just want some cooperation and maybe some sex and a meal every once. And I mean, to sit up here and think that, God damn, that's all you really have. It's not like we saying you got to stay in shape. You got to, cook a 5-course meal every day. You got to respect me at all times, and you got to walk behind me and shit like that. We're not asking for much. And to know that you can't even ask for that. I mean, these women are sitting up here thinking our spaces are not the cause of men not dating you. It's your fucking attitudes and the way you guys are acting. And I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I really need to start my stuff up. Really, what we need to do as men, we need to say, until this shit is changed, until we get a fair rep and everything, we shouldn't do nothing for women, period. I'm talking about if they broke down on the side of the road, you do nothing for them. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If they sitting there on fire, you see a woman and the car bursts into flames and she's on fire, I wouldn't even help get them out. I mean, literally become, and I hate to say that, but to become so to the point, up, there's a government program for that. Because men have been pushed down to the fact that you have no respect nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you have no respect nowhere and in society, you're looked at as a second class citizen, then don't participate in anything at all.
Yeah.
I don't participate in being your friend. I don't participate in nothing. If plain and simple, I'm nothing. If I can't ask for anything, then and pretend like I'm nothing. So when you see me, I'm gonna keep walking. If I see you and you need help, no, I'm nothing. I can't help you.
Yeah, shout out to RPM. What's going on, brother? Long live. And thank you for the super chat. Black Wealth and Power says, what does the black race look like by the year 2050?
Gone.
Not good. First of all, you're in a melting pot. And second, you're seeing a lot of attitudes on display that is, not very hopeful and is I mean, like it's looking pretty dismal at this point.
Well, it's gotten to the point I sit there and laugh. It's like, I still go out. I'm still in a dating game, and I'm not even gonna lie. I can sit here and talk. Like I talked to a female today I met. We talked for about an hour. She said like 10 things already, red flags, and just where I don't even want to talk to you anymore. It's like literally when you hear some of the lines that come out of her mouth, she's like, "Oh, she's one of those. Up, she's one of those. Up, she's one of those." And you don't even. And then they wonder why they're ghosted so damn much. Is because unfortunately, society has made it to why did he ghost me? The best way to get away from somebody without catching a case of no shit later on is just ghost them.
Yeah. So yeah, I see Mr. Z and BGS in the chat. Salute, brothers. Hold on one second. Let me do this real quick. Boom. There you
Oh, you
go.
must have. I don't see nobody. I must be the other channel then.
Yeah, you must be on the other channel, the BMBBH2. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I simulcast on
Yeah.
I simulcast on both channels. But look for my backup channel, y'all, BMBBH2 and Kev We Trust, and subscribe to it. There's always a small possibility that something might happen to this channel one day. So yeah, but also thanks for sharing the video, the Roger Report. Good looking out, brother. So
Yeah. You need to make that wrong report channel, man. Come on, man. You got to capitalize off that name, dude.
But you know what I want to say, Kev, because you did say something about people coming at Cam Newton over baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody who's his baby mama, I'm pretty sure they had a chance at being his wife, whether they realized it or not. Even if he didn't realize, if you got that close, that you could actually do what you did with him and actually get a baby, you should have just managed that situation far better than what you did.
Well,
So basically, that's women that blew an opportunity.
I ain't gonna.
We knew. Well, I'm just saying we don't need to paint the picture that Cam did something to them. They got in the circle some kind of way, and they had the ability to have sex with them. However, they got it done. If you get that close, and you know this dude is doing what he's doing, why would you
Why'd you
not
fuck up?
take that opportunity and make it more than even what he thought it was going to be?
Right. Well, here's the thing. Like I sit here and laugh because it's men have just taken the back road to jam near every damn thing. We're always the bad guy on so much where it's to the point where now it's our fault. It's our fault as men because spaces like this should have been created a long time ago. And really, the women think that they put on blast now. You really need to put them on blast 10 times harder. They don't realize you got to go to the internet to find this crap. It ain't like they're on blast on mainstream media. I mean, you got to go looking for it to find it. But unfortunately, enough of us haven't stepped up to that. Like just give an example. My cousin bumped into my daughter's aunt the other day. And someone was like, "Oh, so and so is Andre's cousin." Oh, that deadbeat. So I'm up here like, what? I know this woman ain't saying that, considering that what all her family did to stop me becoming a part of my daughter's life. And basically, it's
But
like,
details
it's
like
not a
that
problem.
don't count to him.
Huh?
Details like that don't count to him. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
see,
You
I ain't
actually
even gonna lie.
working
They
to
fuck
be
with me.
to
They
be
fuck
there.
with me. They fuck with me. I'm the type of person. I'll be the first type of person to start a movement. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna tell all black men to walk away from their kids, and I'll be the one to stand up and be the face of it and tell them why not to. I mean, when I'm finished, I'll start a movement to do that. I will admit I don't mind people hating me.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm one of those people. I say the shit that needs to be said. I sit there and laugh because I've been telling my kids since they were 5. In the real world, nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. Now that we getting about 30 years old, now we getting 30, 45 years old. They see in the real world, people is not starting to care about your feelings. But think about it. If you was raised with that learning up since you was little, then you would know, well, why these people don't care about me? Well, my dad been telling me since I was 5 that your feelings really don't mean shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
started off on a better foot. You would have known how to play the game of life. But no,
yeah.
I'm looked at as the bad guy for telling them that. I'm telling you how the world works so you can navigate it better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then they won't be so shocked and in awe when things
Mm-hmm.
start to happen, and
Right.
they don't know why people are acting like this. And I
Yeah,
pretty much
we
do.
see it coming. I mean, like I said, I saw the change that's coming. I knew that they wasn't gonna allow me and weren't gonna take the back burner for long. I said, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be the pendulum gonna swing back the other way. Like a friend of mine said, God damn, they just killing you on the child support, Dre. And he said, I understand what they're doing. It's like they're trying to straighten the metal by overbending it. But the problem is they don't realize, okay, well, fine. If they're going to sit there and do that and push the people and stay on them and always try to put them in jail, basically what you're going to do is you're going to stop people from having kids, period. And then it's
Already
like,
happening.
right, already happening. And you see that, not like literally. And I told him, I said, well, see, the bad thing is we're looked at as the bad guys because, you've been alienated your whole child's life. And then, like I said, I would tell my oldest son, he got mad at me. I said, what's so funny is this? Now that you've gotten older, you saw all the lies and shit that your mother did, this, that, and the other. So why am I still looked at as the bad guy for telling you the fucking truth? What lie have I told? I haven't played no games with you, but your mom can get free reign and you can still talk to her and do all of this shit. But you see, like you done caught your mother cheating on her significant other and all that multiple times yourself. You see that your mother lies every day, but yet it's still okay for mom. And dad just said something you didn't like, which happened to be true, but dad still gives the bad guy.
Yeah,
And I told her, I said, no, motherfucker, you don't need to be speaking to your mama, if anything, because she's the one that played all the games. She's the one that lied. The only thing I did was tell you the truth.
all right. Let me give a shout out real quick to Greg for the Cash App. He said for
Huh?
Cam. He said for Cam said it right. So I really appreciate the Cash App. And I got the Cash App on display on the screen, and we got Mr. Z up here from Black and Effect. Check out his channel. Really good shit. And what's going on, brother?
What's going on? Thanks for having me up, Kev. What's going on, Dre?
Oh, yeah.
Raj, I still ain't sleep yet.
God damn.
Like 30 hours, bro. I've been up for like 30 hours, man. Okay, so
You're a
okay.
hard working man, brother. They got to throw that out there
And
too. You're a hard
and I
working
got
man,
I
brother.
got this Smirnoff can that I killed it. I'm about to go get another one. So so yeah, but anyway, yeah, no, what did Cam say that was bad? What did
Right.
he say?
He asked,
Uh
he said, I'll tell you what he said was bad. He asked for something. You're not allowed to
oh.
fucking ask, but you're a man.
How
You get that.
dare you?
Now, Dad,
Exactly.
you're supposed to look. You're supposed to go to work, do what the fuck I say, give me your damn check, take any excuse, any way that I treat your ass, and don't ask for shit.
Well, I can't even.
And then,
I'm not even gonna debate with.
no, and then we might treat you right.
You know how they are these days. You can't have an opinion,
With you,
especially
Dre.
if you're a black man. Because let me tell you something about us black men real quick. A lot of us have had such low standards in women to the point where if we do outline a standard like at least be able to cook, it's so shocking and so surprising.
Right. Can you
And,
get me a sandwich? Can you at least throw throw me? Hey, look, man.
Well,
They take a piece of bread and put a meat between it and throw it
you
at me.
asking for too much,
They
Dre.
would still
But
be surprised. Not
okay,
even, but you
what?
understand what I'm saying? Not even
Yeah.
cook, but throw the sandwich at
Just
me.
throw the bread. Just throw the bread and the meat and the mayonnaise and mustard together and just throw it at me.
Don't
No.
even put no man. You get bread and give them what they call a cop out, like the people in jail. Just throw me a
Hmm.
fucking cop out, man. They'll
Nah,
still be
bro. You
funny.
still asking for too much. You still ask. But
Right.
with Kev Sid was 100. Just you ask. With well, you and Kev just asking for something, and the system has taken for granted black men just being here and being the bottom feeders.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be the bottom feeders, and
It's
the
a race to
system
the
has
bottom.
taken that for granted. So you supposed to be the one with the heavy set, ugly, frumpy white girl, or with the sister that weigh a little too much, or with the Latina with the fumpa what the belly that looks like a what's
A
that bag
foot,
that
they
people be
call
used
it.
to.
A foot. When
Yeah,
they come
yeah,
back,
right.
foot, a
Exactly.
foot.
She got the muffin top thing going on. So like that's supposed to be black men. And like the fact that Cam out of everyone, famous football player, right? Damn near could have beat Tom Brady, but I'm not even a football head. I think they rigged the game against him. I said it. Um right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that this guy of all people is saying stuff like you claiming to be a bad bitch. Like, let me tell you what a bad bitch is. My parents was married for this and this, and I had my grandma in the house. And not only notice what he did, he harkened back to dun 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 tradition. And you know they was mad about that. How
Well, it's just
how
funny. I mean,
family.
can you imagine? I mean, like here's a question. Say if a woman just said, say you dating a woman, she the breadwinner, and she say,
Hmm.
okay, you're gonna be a stay-at-home husband, raise the kids, take care of the house, so take care of everything in the house, and make sure you in good shape so I want to fuck you. And that was your job. Could you do it?
Deal.
I mean, could you do it?
Deal.
Deal. I mean,
Deal.
like I said, look, dude. I would get up in the morning jogging. I'd be doing dick ups to make sure that motherfucker was strong. You know,
Hysterical.
I mean, not push it. Like, what you doing? No, I'm doing my dick ups now. Call me back. What you doing? Oh yeah,
Hysterical.
2, 3 to make sure I be making
Dre said he'll
sure.
put a quarter pound above on it, tie it, and just
But
slip.
I mean, for real. I mean, wait a minute. You gonna take care? Like, think
Oh
about it. I don't gotta
man.
do a rat race or going to work all day. I can just fix shit around the house, make sure our kids
Hmm.
are off on the right foot, so like that it ain't nobody. All these dummies out here filling our kids with a fucked up agenda. You know, trying to tell us that we can go in the closet and come out a different sex if we want to, or some other type of shit the school's trying to push on them.
Excuse me, sir. There
Right,
will be no LGBTQ slander in this panel.
right,
No, I'm playing with you. Keep
right.
going.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
hey, real
At
quick,
5 years old, I didn't know what twat was, let alone did I never wanted any. It's
real
just too
quick,
Mm,
damn young.
real quick.
mhm.
Black Wealth and Power, thank you for the super chat. He says, unfortunately, Dre, you impregnated crazy, and I
I
kind of do.
impregnated. No, I hate to say I impregnated a black woman. Well, I guess that is crazy because that's damn near
Yeah,
all.
and let me and let me give some shout outs. I saw the village arsonist in here. What's going on, brother? Cortez Smith, what is up? Peace to you, brothers. Thanks for coming by once again. K Dot is in here as well.
But you want to hear something funny?
RPM as well.
You want to hear something
Mm.
funny? All of my children's mother are educated. All of them. All of them don't.
Yeah, you said that
Like
before. College educated. Hmm.
when we sit up here and say like average income,
Mm.
all of them make more than average. So it ain't like I was, these what women who was just scum of the earth, bottom feeders. I do admit, like some of them learned how to abuse the system in certain ways. Because like just one of the things I sit there and laugh. Women can sit up here and be making way time more money, and then they find out that these women were scooting the system. They don't give them no jail time or nothing like that because
Of course not.
my youngest son's mother did it for damn near 7-8 years. You're making over 50K and wasn't paying no rent, no water, no and no lights, and you were making over
Well,
50K. So you think about what type of life you were living if you don't pay no rent, you don't pay no water, and you don't pay no lights.
Mm.
for 7
Well,
years, and you ain't got shit to show for it.
but see, that's what makes things so bad because if you were with Cam Newton, you're not paying
Well, but
flights.
I'm just saying,
You're not.
it's not like that
No,
they.
I'm just saying
I know that.
this is it brings out the problem that this the guy that y'all want to attack. There's so many guys you could attack for saying something like this, but you took the $75 million man and attacked him. Like it says like from a collective standpoint, all those who are attacking him for what he said, like how dumb are you people? That's what I gotta ask myself. Because if my daughter can marry a man with his status, his money, his access to the world, and all he need her to do is shut up sometimes and cook.
But you still, Raj, you
daughter.
still asking for too much, Raj. Okay, let's go to what you said. The
I would
problem,
ask my
this is,
daughter to have some sense and do what that man say.
but Raj, the problem is that Cam Newton is literally all that Kevin Samuels high value man stuff. He is that. He is that. And that's why they had to tear him down. Because you are the dude that they all are talking about. You fit, you got money, you got status, you got access, you're famous, and you're talking about your preferences and what you like, and it's more than just looks. How dare
Well,
you? Right?
I would say he would have to be master of the universe. He's far beyond high value. He's far beyond
Yeah.
that. This nigga's a worldwide figure.
Well,
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's true.
well, think
That's
about
true.
it. Will Smith, the shit with Will Smith should show you. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, this dude right here made it to where, I mean, this is the bad thing. Like, if you want to sit up here and say that Will Smith didn't love Jada Pinkett, like, remember those pictures of Will Smith and he like standing there and like got his hands out like pointing at her.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was doing
That's
that
the
since
first
he
thing
was.
that came to mind.
But this is the problem. He was doing that ever since when they were dating. So it's
Dre.
like he loved you to death. This man
Dre.
is top. You got to say probably one of the top 10 guys.
He's
in the world,
not
say.
Tupac
But right.
beginning
But what?
end.
I'm up here like, here's a question. Name another man that could give her what Will Smith gave her. They're
He's
not too
not
many.
Tupac beginning
But right. But I'm
end.
just saying, it's like
I know I'm fucking with you, Dre, but for real,
Right,
that's
but-
the issue.
oh shoot, I didn't.
Yeah, but real talk though, the thing is, if you heard anybody speak out against Cam Newton, or hey, even Will for that matter, but I'm gonna stick to the Cam Newton situation because that's the subject of the show.
Yeah.
Everybody who came out and said something bad, that's an automatic sign that you should not be listening to that person.
Good point.
To me, I mean, if you have a problem with what he said, he asked nobody to do anything ridiculous, and he was talking about a woman for himself.
Well, for
Period,
himself.
because that's what the conversation was. It was about what he wanted for himself, and he said, "I don't want nobody who believes they're bad B." What's the problem with that? And if you think you a bad B, and you got an issue with what he said because he don't want one, you just not the person to talk to. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's to be everybody should take notice of who said something against him and be like, "I never listen to this mark in this context ever again," because they don't know what they're talking about.
This is the thing. When you said last time I checked, I mean, if I'm trying to lay down roots and have somebody raising my child, I don't want a bitch sitting up here talking about I'm a bad B raising my kid. I mean, like, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, you know, it's like they're making it like, I mean, it's getting really bad. It's getting to the point to where eventually, if they don't turn this shit around, these women don't understand. Eventually, no one's gonna impregnate them.
That's what's gonna happen.
I mean,
it's
I ain't
too
gonna
late,
lie,
Dre.
man. Maybe you're right. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if that was the white man's agenda secretly to pump out this shit to get the black people exterminated. And
I don't think it's just black.
They done filthy. No, but I mean, they done filled these women's head with such delusional shit that where the men are just turned off and don't want to have sex with them. I mean, that's how you exterminate them right there.
Let me give you
without
Dre, go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
But you gotta remember, Dre, and this ain't. I mean, it should. It's kind of weird not to be rude, and don't take this the wrong way, but you know, you gotta remember, there's always a man out here. At least 16% of men who are willing to take just about any level of shit from a woman. You know, your homosexual is gonna hit everything.
You know what? Now, hold on. Now they only said it's only about 8% of guys that are problematic guys. It's only 8%. Some
Right.
other niggas just got caught up. But let's not.
Where are you pulling that number from? It's about 16. It's
No,
about double that.
In the CDC, they said only about 8% of them was like the road guys. You know what I'm saying?
But
Yes,
even
it's about 16 that got somebody pregnant. Sure, that's out of wedlock, but the problematic people is only about 8%.
but
What do you
even
what do you
even if we give you PK, even if we give you the 16, keep going. Because even let's for argument's sake, let's give you the 16. Where you going with this?
Well, ultimately, you're gonna have a percentage of men who are gonna get, a lot of these women pregnant, regardless of their actions. I mean, you gotta understand this shit is so bad. You even have a certain percentage of men that are married and that are actually promoting this frame of reference or this
True.
propaganda. So I mean, you got guys running around here like Will Smith with it. Not to change the topic too much, but just to kind of stay on topic. You got guys that are propagating this all across. So when you get you know a plurality of men, even though they're a lesser percentage, they're around 40% of the overall population of black men who are willing to tolerate bad behavior to some degree, or at least a large majority. So this ain't a simple uh problem. What the reason that everyone found so much of an issue with what Cam Newton said is because you have around a little bit less than half of black people who are actually in agreement that black men should fall in line for the gynocracy, so to speak. That's what's going on. It's
So
been that way for a while. It was just a larger percentage. It's only been slowly going down.
Hey,
this is mhm.
real quick. Just want to call out the super chat. D Scott, appreciate your support once again. He said there's a lot of money to be made in selling delusion. Yeah,
Yep.
But
He
the
said
problem,
that the other
very
night too.
true.
It's too true.
but but
It
this is the
real,
problem.
real quick, Dre, real quick,
Sorry.
because this is okay. There is money to be made off of selling women, black women in particular, delusion. And what you were saying, Dre, earlier about, them not having children, that's bigger than just white people. Even white people, that's what the whole abortion ban in Texas is about.
Mhm.
Because even the white women, even your white conservative women are like, yeah, I think I'm a tiptoe over here on some liberal feminist shit when it comes to female rights, right?
Mhm.
So that's why the white boys is trying to close the gates on everything, right? They trying to force them to have these damn sons, right? So
Right.
like,
Well,
there's that, but then the game right now that's being sold is the will game. It's the it don't matter who that chick is. You do that for her.
well,
Right?
I'm
You
gonna.
embarrass yourself for her. You slap somebody for her. You bad marriage for life for her. You
Right.
right? You bad relationship. Forget marriage. You bad relationship for life for her. And let her do and that actually is the goal, I would argue, for most and I gotta use this term, but for most modern women, which
Well.
is the umbrella is so wide and so strong that
Mhm.
they get to do whatever they want and they never gotta
But
face a rainy day.
but the problem with that is this. This is the problem is that they see this writing on the wall and there's bad things about that because this is the problem. Know, and the writing on the wall, that's the agenda they're trying to push, but they've realized the
Hmm.
agenda that they're trying to push and push the men to act like they do now. And just like, remember I told you, I'll do the gig apps on the time. These restaurants ain't filling back up with people dating no more. I mean, when men stop taking women out on dates and stop doing things to impress women and stop buying shit to replace women, that's a big part of the economy. When men stop saying, "Well, fuck it, I don't need to make 80 grand a year when I'm happy
Hmm.
with the $30,000 lifestyle," that's a big part of the economy.
Happening already.
When people ain't trying, hey,
Hmm.
what's the point of me doing all this shit to try to get a woman and I'm gonna be treated like shit? So might as
But
well just do what I want to do, play my little video games or whatever you find, do parasailing or whatever it is. They realize that some of these markets ain't coming back, and
but
these places are hurting because men aren't pursuing women. There's a lot of money made because men are pursuing women. Men ain't working hard at work. Men ain't been taking jobs that they would normally do. They're not working
but
all these
Dre,
extra
let me add
overtime
this.
hours. Think
Let
about
me
it.
add
You
this.
would think if men were trying out there to get money, these jobs would be full of men.
Well,
Now
here,
these are
It
here's
ain't
job
even
short.
just that.
here. Go ahead, Roger. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, my thing is just even regardless of what the men do from a financial standpoint, they're not built to spend it. We spend a lot of money
Yep.
because of
Yep.
wives
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
children. Okay, we spend a lot of money over wives and children.
Uh-huh.
Man can go get the studio apartment and be fine. You can't put your wife and
Mm-hmm.
your kids in the studio apartment. So now you
Right.
got to do
Mm-hmm.
something. What you got to buy a house, or you got to buy or at least rent a bigger apartment. You know what I'm saying? At least get a condo. Something you got to do
Right.
something where there's more money invested. You got instead of just going to get that little 2-seater. You know what I'm saying? This sports car, whatever
That
that you can just
300ZX.
I
you
don't
know what I'm
want to talk
saying?
about
Yeah, just
it.
and ride that for the next 15, 20 years.
You
Now you
see
got to
what I'm
go get you a
saying?
family sedan. You got to go get you a
Mm-hmm.
van for when they out at the soccer games and all that type of stuff. There's a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
of extra money to spend because of women and children. So the thing is, even with the men earning the money, they're not spending the money. The guys who are earning it ain't spending it
But
because
here's
they're
the
not
question.
taking these
But
women
they're
out.
but that money, you gotta understand that money that they're not getting directly, they're getting through indirect means.
Yep.
So it
Yep.
isn't as though that source has been
But
completely cut off. That's not how that works.
But they're not
Well,
let
no,
me
getting
it's
address.
not
Wait, wait, wait,
completely,
Dre.
but
Wait, wait, Dre.
they feeling it.
Wait, wait. Here's the thing, and I'm agreeing with Dre in that men are evolving in this, right? But I do think what's really happening is like Corey Holcomb said, and I love saying it. They price their pussy out the game, right? They price themselves out the game, and so I think now men are like screw it. But up until I want to say about the past 2, 3 years, I don't think men were like screw it. I think men
right
were trying their hardest to
to
make
get it.
something finagle something. But
Mm-hmm.
now that they price themselves so high out the game, men are like, I'm not paying that for you,
Right. And what's so
right?
bad is the economy has seen it because they already know.
Yeah,
Ask the people that work in a restaurant business, ask the people that work in that everything is down. You can say, well, it's COVID, but we don't have a lot of daters coming in here. Men ain't
yeah,
taking women out to dinner no
yep.
more. Men ain't, I mean, now men are just buying the shit that they like. Like they said, we see an uptick in stuff that like men only spend their money on. They'll spend that money on stupid shit. They see an uptick in nail sectors. But all those sectors where we relate to like women, when people talk about working overtime and all that shit out, because basically that's just more money to spend on your girl. They ain't doing it no more. I mean, they see that. Their numbers are down.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Dre, so
the money got go ahead, Mr. Z. I'll come
no,
in
no,
after
real,
that.
real, real quick, real quick. Oh, so I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and I was telling them I was watching The Better Bachelor, white dude, and he was covering
Joker.
Prager, yeah, PragerU was covering this particular topic, but the way they were angling it was trying to shame men and advertise to men why marriage is such a better and great appeal. And that lets you know them white boys ain't trying to hear it neither, right? They not
Well,
trying to
there's
be
no
with it
reason to.
neither.
You
Yeah,
fucked. I mean, basically,
yeah.
basically, I ain't gonna lie. If you were smart, as smart as man, you never get married. I ain't even gonna lie. As men need to push for a thing as this. If you don't have no kids, men ain't having no kids until
Mm,
50 custody is automatically immediately off the gates.
mm.
Or I mean, what we
I
got to
know
do is
somebody
we got
that
to
advocate
fight
for
to get
that.
at least a fight to where we get 100% custody. Well, fine. If it's a boy, the 100% custody goes to the father. If it's a girl, you get them. That way, at least we got to fight for something. And basically, it's to the point like that. And until it's a big change in laws, men need to stand their ground. No, we ain't reproducing no more.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, plain simple. Tell the man, hey, for
you got
now
to
on, this is
change.
what we do. When you turn 17, get a vasectomy. Make sure you can't even get a kid unless you pay for them. Off rip.
Well, the thing is, you can't. You're not gonna get laws changed until you get the climate change. So the thing is, a lot of stuff is gonna fold in on itself if men just do what they want to do, and and that's the beauty of it all. If we just do what we want to do, everything will work itself out. The
Well, that's
thing
what's
is,
happening.
that's
I
what.
mean,
Okay.
that's that
Well, yeah, yeah, it is happening.
we'll have
To a
to
certain degree, it's happening. Oh,
we'll
go
have
ahead,
to
BK. Go ahead.
we'll have to see to what extent, because I mean, ultimately, you know, we say this all the time. At least I know that Mr. Z and I say this from time to time. Is that your government as well as corporations are in on this hit job. So I mean,
Yep.
you gotta understand, like,
Hmm.
if with it being intertwined the way it is, if corporations and women as well, including your government, are all working in
And
conjunction with one
investment
another,
banks. Shout out to Goldman Sachs.
right? You have so many different levers with access to money, including men's money, that are going to try to find another way to extract resources from men one way or another. We'll see. I don't know that it'll necessarily go that way because men are pulling out, but we'll see how far they're willing to go and what men will do with their backs up against the wall. Because quite frankly, I think that for the longest time, men have been quite impotent as far as these issues are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
What the thing I believe it will spark men to think about things in a different way. And to me that's why the Cam Newton thing was so important. You know what I'm saying? He's not a dude just saying what he want and he don't have nothing. Like we all know who the dude is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who quote unquote reported on him, they at least found out the nigga was a football player and a very successful man. You like who did a report on Cam Newton not have any idea
Well,
that he's a major figure in the NFL?
well,
You
what's
see
so
what I'm saying?
bad?
So
They're
you know
talking
he
about
got
you
some
don't have a
money.
job now. They're talking about you ain't even in court. I mean, they was getting on him.
But
I
but
said,
but
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 the nigga still got more money
but
in the
they
bank
said
than
it.
you do.
But they said it knowing who he
Right.
was. That's why they took that shot at him
Right, but they
to
said,
say he
but
don't
think
have
about it.
no.
The man got more money in the bank than you will ever see.
No. I get that, but I'm just saying. Look at how the only way you would say that to know he don't have a job, you would have to have already did the research to see he's a free agent right now. You see what I'm saying? Which means you already know who this dude is.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So everybody know who reported on it, know who the dude is. So if you know a guy got it like that, you coming at a guy who got it all already. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking about some guy who's saying I might wake up and start working one day. You know what I'm saying? In 3 years I might take a job. You talking about a guy who he already set for life. He got enough money right now to do nothing but literally for the rest of his life if he don't want
Yep.
to. You know what I'm saying? He go buy a very nice home and just live and kick it. He ain't got to do nothing,
Literally.
you know. So he's a very well paid man. So to come at him out of all people is there's a whole lot of stupidity that's in our society that people don't want to call out. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this was a very dumb reaction because it's him. You know what I'm saying? I get it if you trying to put this on the ideal of a 15-year-old kid who said this, who ain't made it out of high school, ain't been to college. We don't know what he gonna do with his life, and he thinking in these terms, and you're trying to convince him to think differently so he won't make such an impact when he's a man. Cam done made it already.
Well, I mean, I'm not even
We'll
willing to acknowledge that prior statement, man, because honestly, you gotta understand, men overall, even if that man doesn't end up becoming, a Cam Newton per se, you gotta understand that, or I don't think that you have to, but you should understand just based on the numbers that men will ultimately end up contributing more throughout their lifetimes than women will, as far as money is concerned and productivity is concerned. So I mean, they tend to work longer. I mean, if they don't die, I mean,
yeah. Well,
we
I'm
end
not
up
saying I'm
contributing
not.
in large part to a woman's welfare in terms of society. In fact, society won't stand if things continue as it is right now.
No,
Shit'll
no.
fall apart.
But I wasn't saying nothing against the young guy that's only 15. I said that would make more sense to try to convince him
Why?
because he's 15. He don't understand the world. I'm saying
Why?
it would make more sense if they were trying to say this to a 15-year-old who doesn't understand the
Mm.
world the way we
Mm-hmm.
understand the world. You're talking
Mm.
about Cam Newton. He ain't a
Yeah.
kid no more,
Well,
and
no,
he's
I would
already
still
made
I
the
would
money.
still have to
That's
ask
all I'm
you
saying.
why. I understand what you're saying. Like my question for you is why would you say that even to a 15-year-old because he doesn't understand
No,
the
no,
world?
no. I'm
I
not.
don't
I'm
get
not
that.
saying that they. I'm not saying that they should. What I'm saying is, if you have a better chance of pushing a dumb idea to a 15-year-old than somebody like Cam Newton. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
It's a
Okay.
dumb idea. Period. You're better off trying to get a 15-year-old to believe in this dumb idea than a grown man who's already made $75 million.
Which is half the reason they did it, by the way, Raj, is because they want that influence. They want that out there. It was one time I was listening to Jason Black, right? And he said something about the brother that produced my goddamn, what was that slave movie in 2016? Gone with the Wind. Not Gone with the Wind.
What?
Not Gone with the Wind. The
It wasn't that one.
it was in that. It was in
Homicide.
that. No. The
Who's
remix
Kane?
to the first movie they played in the White House. Y'all know what I'm talking. The first movie they played in the White House.
Birth of a
Somebody in the
Nation.
comments. Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a
There. Thank
Nation.
you, Raj. See, I knew somebody knew. So the brother that remixed that and did the more modern version, they ran up on him in front of his daughter, right, and tried to flex on him about that supposed grape allegation in front of his daughter. And Jason Black said this wasn't really about him. This was about his daughter. So when you're speaking, Raj, what I'm hearing is this really ain't about people our age. This is about those 15-year-olds and those 12-year-olds and those 10-year-old boys. They're trying to get them right and make them know, hey, you can't be Cam Newton. I don't care how much money you get. You supposed to be Will, not Cam,
Well, the
right?
feminist indoctrination camp has already plagued your school system for the last 50 years or so. So I mean, what are you talking about? This ain't new.
No, I'm
People
not.
that
I'm not
actually
saying
break
it's
the
new. I'm just
spell
saying.
are the
Yep.
rarities.
But that's my point. So anybody that deviates from that, we got to come down with on the we got to make them seem crazy. And you know it's crazy when Anna Kasparian from freaking TYT is like, "What is he talking about? Nobody want to hear his opinion anyway." Like, stop it, right? But like,
Right.
she got to do that even as a supposed liberal, free thinker, lefty, right? She got to do that because we can't have you maybe having other young men think differently about their
Mhm.
position, especially young men of means,
Well,
especially them.
but they sit up there. They don't realize if they keep doing this shit, most men are gonna end up voting Republican. You see that this is they've already kind of turned.
Thank you.
I mean, like
Yeah,
literally,
yeah, yeah,
more black
yep,
men voted
yep,
Republican this
yep,
last election than in
yeah.
history. I
Oh,
mean,
they're
the
in panic
percentage
mode. They
wise.
already got articles about it, Drake. They
I mean, like,
remember,
imagine. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I
mm-hmm,
used to never thought that. I hate to say, independent
mm-hmm,
or Republican all day. I never
mm-hmm.
vote Democrat again in my life.
Yeah,
Look,
pretty much.
I everybody
Hey,
know
hey,
I
real
work.
quick, real
Okay,
quick,
okay.
real quick. Let me go ahead and call out this super chat. Hurry up and buy. Appreciate it.
Hurry up and buy.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Hysterical.
Can you imagine if that became a law based on sex? Boy, go with your dad, and girl, go with your mom. You think Cam Newton got heat? Imagine if KS said some shit like that.
Right. I ain't gonna lie.
Facts.
It should go. Primary custody of. I mean, like literally, at least you say fuck it. At least we get a chance. Because if you want to set it fair, primary custody of the men go to the father.
Well,
Primary
it used
custody
to be that.
of the right. But no, it used to be the children were his. But then
All of them. Yeah.
right
So
until the
before the Custody of Infants Act. Okay.
Hmm.
So it
right
used to be that
Well,
children went with the father in almost all, like
right.
99.999% of cases.
but
I
That's how
mean,
look,
that
like
went.
to
right. Which you just say, well, fine. This is what we do. If you really want to do, because they realize they're gonna have to trim these government programs. Because one,
mm,
even
I don't
even
see it
child
happening.
support. Even no, but this is the problem. They're gonna see that the programs are unsustainable. Even
Mhm.
the child support system, they ain't making no money. I mean, literally, they operate at a loss even after all the fines even after what they charge them, and they're operating at a loss. And the
Fiat
government
currency, they'll
realizes
eat
that.
that. Okay,
But,
look at what we're saying.
but wait, let
The
me finish.
Go ahead, go ahead.
They operate at a loss. They realize that, but they realize the only way, and then with more people not having kids, that's less future incomes. They realize it's going down. They operating at a loss already. There's no way to increase revenue. They can say, well, fine, what we'll do is charge more. Basically, you're just going to scare even more people from having kids. I mean, there's no way that the system is sustainable in its current state. So what they're probably going to end up doing is eventually in a couple years, either doing that, like say, well, fine, primary custody go to that, or what they'll do is say, fuck it. Whichever one of you parents don't need help from the other parent, get custody of the kids. Now that's what you
Oh,
understand what I'm saying. Like whoever can support the child alone without help from the other. Now, which one? Hey, oh wait a minute, you want them or you ain't want them?
I got an easier way. You want the
with,
easiest way to fix this?
What?
You can get women out of the workforce. Very simple.
Well,
They ain't got the money to
mm,
support. If they don't have the money to support the children, they don't get the children. Period.
right,
Because they
right.
can't support them. Problem solved.
Well, what?
let me.
Because I sit there and laugh. I sit there and laugh. What? I was on paying child support. I never got a dime from my kid's mother. And I remember all the times I said that. But think about it. All the years, and you done heard me say that shit. And how many times did we actually hear women come out and bash his mother for that shit? Not once. You know, there's plenty of men here that in this space. Well, you know, it's just like I said, benefit of the doubt.
I
They're
mean,
always get
it's a double
I had it
whammy.
backwards. My bad.
If you get women out of the workforce, your wages will actually
increased.
begin to
Yeah.
rise again.
They'll double. They'll double.
So I mean,
Literally.
it's really a double win. They'll more than double
Mhm.
because ultimately they've been suppressing wages for a multitude of factors,
That
and one of
part.
the reasons of that is the fact that we can't petition for wage increases as well, you know, to the same degree as we would be able to as a collective group as men,
But I
because they
wanted
are
to
able to
read
bring in
this.
cheaper labor, and women are actually a part of the quote unquote cheaper labor in a way,
Definitely.
in a sense, but not exactly because they're
Let
able
me
to. Yeah. Anyway,
let me
Well,
read
one
this
of the, but
comment
they
real
also,
quick, Dre, real quick, because I wanted to read this comment before it disappear, and it goes to what we were speaking about earlier from Rael, and it's Roger had a black female in 2020 who came on the panel who said when I asked her why she was here, she said wanted to keep us from influencing younger black males. She admitted it exactly, and I don't know if Roger remember that. I remember that show. I remember that
Yeah, I
show, and I
remember that.
remember that.
I
Yep.
remember.
And,
Well,
and
they don't
and
realize.
Dre, I think you might have been on that
I was
show
there.
too.
I was there,
But
but
yeah,
this they don't
mhm,
realize. You can
mhm,
no offense. You. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna go
mhm,
say I was gonna say you
mhm.
broads can never have to. You can never stop what's going on right now. You know why? Because even if the space blew up tomorrow, your
Mhm.
actions are still the same,
The
which will
exp
lead men to the same conclusion.
exact. Okay.
yeah.
I said because you
Pause
ain't
right
changed
there.
the problem. It's
Pause
like them
right there, Dre.
motherfuckers cleaning up the damn ocean, the beaches and shit, and not stopping the
And the
trash coming
trash.
into the
Yep.
rivers. I mean,
Okay.
what? Just feeding right into them. Motherfucker, you
Let's
ain't keep the
address that.
promise at the source. It's still the same problem. What's
Let's
gonna
address
happen?
that.
Men are logical. They're gonna come to
P
the same fucking solution.
People have the issue. This is one of the reasons why I'm in this space. It's the moral high grounding. I can't take it, right? It's the your experiences in what you're saying is because you as a black man you want to be a white man. I want justice as a black woman. I want freedom. You want to be a white man, right? So it
What?
automatically puts them in this moral high ground position. And that's one of the things that just if there's something that chafes my ass, it's that, right? When they say grind my gears, if it's one thing that grind my gears, it's that. And that's what we're dealing with, and that's going to what you're saying, Dre, which is like this constant I'm morally superior to you, so you always have to defer to me because I know best. I'm not coming from at this from a selfish place. I'm coming at this from a selfless, community-minded place. You, on the other hand, you just want the accoutrement of rich white men. Now
Just
we
take
know
them,
different,
give them what they
right?
want. Give
Yeah,
them what they want. This is what they want, right? They want to
yeah.
be able to live at home like white women, like Miss Ann. That's the life that they always wanted because they
Mhm.
got close to it, right? Give
Yeah,
them what they want. Take them out of the fucking workforce. You
yeah,
solve the problem. Not just them. Take them all out. Take them all out of the
yeah.
workforce. Problem gets solved overnight.
And,
Not
and
overnight, but you get the point.
yeah, and going to what Dre was saying about voting Republican. Yo, like, so everybody know I worked for the Florida Democratic Party in 2016. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, and I didn't vote for Biden in 2020. I voted down ballot both times because I couldn't bring myself to vote for these people. I voted down ballot, like I said. And when I got in that voting booth and I thought about this lady calling us super predators, and when I got in the voting booth in 2020 and I thought about this dude, because I couldn't vote for Trump in all honesty, but I couldn't vote for the dude that wrote the 94 crime bill, right? I couldn't eat it. I couldn't do it, bro. Right? And then the speech it's the bill, but then I couldn't even play plausible deniability and be like, well, maybe he didn't know. No, that speech he gave on the Senate floor, I listened to every word of that speech, y'all.
So
Right?
maybe he
And
didn't
so,
know.
like Dre was saying, that you're gonna have that split. It's already happening. What am I saying? It's already happening where more and more men, even men of color, not just black men, are slowly floating to the right. And it's mainly due to these type of gender dynamics that the Democrat Party is playing, and the Republican Party's playing it too. But the Republican Party's like, hey, we got a space for all you niggas that's getting burned over there, right? They just opening the doors because they know what's going on the left,
Well,
and the
this is
left is losing men.
well, the men are losing it to the point is it's gonna come, and they don't realize with the men losing out on relationship on that crap like how they lose, but in other ways they win it because the main thing we
Mhm.
really want from women is sex. So basically, the men are coming out to like, oh hell no, I ain't fucking with you. No, I'm not speaking to you like that because that could be a harassment or some other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So plain and simple, this is what you want to do. You want to deal with me? I need sex within 24 hours of meeting. Otherwise, that way I don't have to work. Look. That way I mitigate my risk and shit later on for the bullshit. I want to know you serious. You hopping in the sack? Hey, you ain't hopping in the sack. I don't even have time to talk
Quick,
to you.
quick question for everybody on the panel.
Sign the release. I mean, that's bad when you got people like Drake. Like he said, girlfriend
Hot
signed
sauce.
a release to be in the bed. No, but I'm talking not hot sauce. But
Mhm.
girlfriend that signed a release saying that they were having consensual
Okay.
sex.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
when you got men doing that shit before smashing, I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna lie. No, but plain and simple, this is what you do. Man, oh no, I don't buy women drinks no more. Why is that? No,
Oh.
if you want me to spend any money on you, we got to either have sex or in the beginning you pay for all the dates. I don't spend no money on women. I mean, like literally, and a lot of men have adopted that. Hey, we ain't smashing, and there's no point in spending no money on you. And they see that. Like I go out. Remember, I told you I walk into bars and I see the dudes standing over there with the dudes playing pool, this, that, and the other. I see the chicks like sitting up there, like, well, you know, and you see they be trying to entice the men dancing by themselves, trying to. The men just be like, whatever. I mean,
Here's a question for
a
y'all.
lot of men have adopted the strategy. Either we love it or I'll see you tomorrow.
You said something about the bar. Let me ask the panel this question. How many videos have we seen over the past, I'll say 3-4 years, of sisters crying in their car, in their parents' car, at their table, at the island in their kitchen, because they done went to the bar or the club or then came from school and ain't no brother saying nothing. Exactly. How many videos we done seen?
I got you beat. So I hit up a chick. She's left here in Cleveland, right? So I said, to go to show you how the women act. So I said, hey, man, I'd like to meet you. We can meet for dinner one day. Is that how you just ask like that? And I said, what? Somebody offered to take your ass to dinner? That's what the fuck I'm supposed to do?
I wouldn't have responded.
You just ask like that? I was like, bye.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have responded.
I'm just like, whoa. I said, I would like to meet you for dinner. That's what it is. And she was like, you ask like that? I'm like, so what the fuck is a person supposed to do?
Dre, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. PK, Dre, real quick.
PK,
Social media man said 100,896. That's how many videos we done seen.
Right.
A lot of guys.
Stupid. Go ahead, y'all.
A lot of guys spend time responding to some of these messages, man. I don't even like. So if I get a fucking, sideways comment like that, dude.
Go on.
Personally, I don't even respond anymore.
Well, that's what I did. I took another chick out to dinner that I met, and she just sat there with RBR. We went to one of these places where they come out and cook the food for you at the table and all that shit. So I spent a pretty penny. I'm like, me, I'm a workaholic. I told her I'm a work. I would have never come here. This, that, and the other. And it's like, well, I didn't spend this much money. What the fuck you worried about? It ain't your money. You know what I mean?
I look for the source.
Damn.
If I'm looking to date a woman and I actually get those sort of types of, and I haven't been on a date in a while now, but when I was dating, if I usually saw those sorts of signs that you're describing, dude, like it was an instant.
But she got mad because I didn't speak
to her. It wasn't no delayed reaction. It was instant for me. Like I'm instantly ghosting you. Like this date's over. I would never see you again. Not even a thank you for your time. Like just get the fuck out of my life. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And if we do talk, it better be about sex because that's what you're relegated to now.
What's so bad is, man, the place wasn't that expensive. Maybe like $200 it would have cost. I don't know what's so bad. The place I was going at first, and I thought I was going to go to a spot where it was going to be like $400 for two people.
No, Dre, that's expensive, bro.
Dre, listen. I always wanted to try this spot in Cleveland. It's called the Marble Room. I always wanted to try this spot there. And because a friend of mine had told me that the steaks was just, me, I can't cook worth shit. So I'm like, good. Somebody going to cook a meal. We're going to go right down there. And I'm like, oh, that ain't bad. It ain't like you're doing it all the time. You complaining that this place is high. I'm like, God damn, thank God I didn't take you to the place I wanted to go.
Nah, B, you gotta take these bitches to Applebee's, bro.
But I'm just like,
I'm telling you, you take them to Applebee's. You don't spend no more than like $100 max, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
Max.
The most I ever spent on the first date was 120.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
well,
hey!
I'm gonna say,
Real quick. Infantry skills. You know, you starting to get on my damn nerves. Let me respond to this comment. He said, "I'm starting to think you guys like intellectual masturbation. So then we more brainstorming ideas, tackling problems. We know these broads are treacherous. What's the next steps for black men politically? I am not a political expert. And, I don't really believe that people are sincere when they say that. They just hate to hear black men talking. Every time I hear this bullshit about black men need to have ideas politically and we need to be going
Mm,
after power, there is no plan from these so called intellectual motherfuckers to help us assert power. Yeah, we are giving advice on black men on how to avoid setbacks. Once we get the mentality going, then we can have those conversations. And even if this conversation was about gaining political power and advantages, how many motherfuckers
mhm.
would be here watching?
Well,
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 I
well, you know
can't.
what?
this
Well,
guy is the same as a lot
Well,
of guys that we used to hear not too long ago who was like, solutions,
oh
solutions.
God, you mean
Yeah,
absolution?
nah,
Um,
yeah.
nah,
but
you know,
but
It's
real
that's what he's on.
real quick. By the way, infantry skills. That's a kind of up ass question that you're asking. That's like borderline FBI question, bro. I don't
yeah,
know if you realize that. What you are you sitting in the office behind a desk recording us right now?
nah, nah.
Because
No,
this
the
is
one thing I hate, the
This
one
is the
thing
thing.
I
This is
always hate is the whole calling black men having conversation circle jerks. Like,
yeah.
these old
nah.
alphabet imaginations these guys have.
I'm gonna start hitting these
Look,
motherfuckers. You can find what you're looking for at the end of my dick. How about that?
Right. We well, he might
well,
like that,
let
but
me say
we
this.
can't commiserate with each other
Oh,
apparently.
okay. Nah, if he like that, But you get
Nah,
what I'm saying.
this,
Fuck you, get
this is the
fucked.
thing.
That's how I feel.
This is the thing. You you cannot achieve political power until you first achieve personal power. And if
Say that.
anyone who has any type of, I mean, just a smidge of political IQ, just a smidge of it, you understand you cannot get political power until you deal with personal power.
Mhm.
I don't understand how anybody who wants to act like they know something about politics don't understand the concept of personal power first before you go to political power.
Mhm.
If you can't even dump abroad, why are you telling me about a political party?
And
Like I
and and,
said,
and
you
the
can
thing
look for all the answers to this 8 ball question at the end of my dick. That's how I feel about it.
and,
Honestly.
What?
the fact of the matter is, brothers have been getting mind fucked ever since we were children.
True.
So, we represent the brothers that are waking up. And, my personal thing is telling brothers that, you now have the balls to wake up your goddamn self. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these things are problematic, but to sit up here and tell brothers that, hey, you know what, you can't let everybody know what's problematic, then maybe you're part of the problem.
Thank you. Well,
So,
Well,
they realize they realize they're trying to just shoot the messenger rather than change
No,
what
no,
they're doing. They're trying to shoot you for speaking, thinking about it. I mean, I wouldn't be like
no. Well,
they probably try to charge. They're gonna have to probably women gonna put something on the ballot to make. Well, men who are single should have to pay a tax or some type of shit. They're gonna try to do something because
well, my thing is, we shouldn't even let the conversation be, you know what I'm saying, steered off course because for those who are believing things from a political level, to change laws and have them accepted, you have to change the climate of the people first. The mindsets must
mm-hmm,
change first. That is the
absolutely.
mm-hmm.
job that we're doing. So anybody who's coming against us with any type of political message is a person who does not want minds to change. So we actually can change things from a political standpoint. You can't pass laws if society won't accept them.
Mm-hmm.
That's called being overthrown. Everyone who tried to pass a law, even kings with all power, everyone who went too far got killed.
Yep.
Every single one
I'm
of them.
I'm a
Yeah.
real simple motherfucker, dude. I'm a real simple guy. You might even call me a simp because I'm a simpleton ass nigga. Okay. This is how I feel about it. I really do personally feel this way at this point. Black men are entitled to talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about at any
Agreed.
given time. If
Agreed.
you feel a different type of way, like I said, if you rub and shake on my magic 8 ball long enough, you might get your answers. That's how I
Hey,
feel. Like
Look,
honestly, because fuck you,
hey,
don't do that.
wait a
Period.
minute.
look,
Raj, you from Chicago? This is up like behavior with what Buddy Rowe was doing.
yeah, I mean, no, but my thing is though, when people like that say those type of things, my thing is
Mhm,
you gotta, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna address it rather than just ignore it, if you're gonna address it, you need to have
mhm,
get them to a level of understanding. He's
mhm,
asking a question that he don't even know enough men displaying personal power yet to
mhm,
even ask a question like that. Because that question means
mhm.
you already got your personal power together, or you understand what your personal power
But then
is.
you wouldn't even
You
ask
can't
the
even get
question.
well, I
yeah,
mean, bro, he talking about a group of people who don't even understand why you should pay a little bit more extra if somebody's black and own the store. Niggas don't even understand that.
Yeah,
Well,
ooh,
Walmart's selling it for $8 and
ooh,
you selling it for 10. And you know what I'm
ooh.
saying? The average black person does not even understand why you should pay $10 at the black owned store, then go to
Mhm,
Walmart and pay $8. And you know what I'm saying? That's
mhm.
really too complicated for. Well, and I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying I know people have not been trained in that. So if you're gonna ask a political question, get the personal thing together first, then you can move on to politics. You see what I'm
These
saying?
motherfuckers,
That's
are asset. First off, the fact that this shit is that's why I said I try to keep it simple because I know these motherfuckers ain't serious. It's a disingenuous question to begin with. Why the fuck are you on a YouTube panel asking YouTube panelists what the fuck their opinion is on political questions in the first goddamn place? Why don't you take
what
that to your local politician? Why don't you fucking running for office? Why the fuck you ain't doing none of that shit? Where the fuck is your goddamn pack at? What the fuck? Where's where your political organization at? Yet you coming on a
exactly.
YouTube panel to discuss this shit with us? You ain't.
but but
What
but
the fuck is wrong
but
with
that's
you?
what I'm But that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't even let nobody like that defer y'all from the actual conversation at hand. The
Mhm,
conversation about Cam Newton. My thing is, I'm not trying to have anybody change what the conversation is because they don't. If the fact that he asks a question say already tells me what level of understanding he has and doesn't have. And I'm
Yeah,
just saying it because
mhm.
I'm not trying to insult him, but the question itself told me a lot about where he is. Okay, he
yeah,
ain't there yet,
I agree.
so don't let him mess it up for everybody else.
yeah. I get that. We get that. I just wanted to respond to somebody in the chat, and these are topics like on this channel that I come up with. So if it's not good enough for you, you can do pretty much like everyone else, and you can either watch or you don't watch. So there's that. But
A lot of
Or
I
y'all,
do
do.
like PK said.
y'all are some nice
No, no,
people, man.
he needs
I help
he
him
needs to
find his
watch.
way out, dude.
No, no,
I don't have no
bro,
patience.
if he asks that question, he needs to be watching.
Yeah.
That's
But
what I
let me
said.
Yeah, good point.
let me call out the super chat though from Hurry Up and Buy. Thank you once again, brother. He said she better be happy with this 2 piece from Church's Chicken. Look, let me tell you something. The real ones will be happy with anything that you do. Anything that you do.
Yeah.
And if she wants better, hey, she'll contribute. you
I,
know
I
what I'm
wanted
saying?
to I wanted to take a swing at this also. Look, first way you can argue feminism started all the way in the 15th century and they're still making headway now. You talking about a few hundred years. So if you're looking for us, five panelists on an internet show, to come up with the answers tonight and have them done by the end of the week, I don't know if you're in the right place or if you got your head on straight. Right? The civil rights movement literally, you could argue the civil rights movement started when we got on them slave ships. And look,
Man, but
you go ahead.
bro,
I don't
I
even
don't even
want to
want to do that because the thing
Yeah,
is, we done gave out plenty of solutions that I bet he ain't used none of them.
Hmm.
true,
period.
true, true,
You
true,
see what I'm saying? So
true.
my thing is, let's not even pretend that we ain't never actually gave no solutions to make his ego feel good. I give out solutions on a regular basis. I just came up with a whole divorce plan for people to be able to marry and be in a situation where they're going to be good legally. I bet you he write that plan down. I bet you any kind of money right now.
A
I'm
lot of
actually
these.
so comfortable. I bet my life on it that he ain't write it down.
You're probably right. The issue is that a lot of these motherfuckers, like I said, it's not a question to be answered in the first fucking place. It's more of a dig. Because we give solutions and answers to some of the problems and discussions that we have, constantly. And so just because you don't like the particular answers that are doled out doesn't mean that you never got one.
Facts.
In
Yeah,
fact, the fact that you
yeah.
even get answers in the first place from fucking internet panelists is really charity work, and you should be thankful because you ain't entitled to this shit. These people are giving you time for free. In fact, they solicit donations from time to time, and some of y'all motherfuckers don't even donate. You got the nerve to come up here and not drop any money and ask for an answer. That's what I'm saying, man. Some of y'all motherfuckers are nice. Cause like I said, I would have helped him see his way out if it were me. If this
No,
were years
you know,
ago and
but
this were me, I'd help him see his way out.
no,
You ain't got no
but the thing
motherfucking
is,
sense.
like I said, with the question that he asked, I know he's the person that needs to listen. You know what I'm saying? So you see, when you and I ain't saying this to brag, but one thing that me and my friends have had to come to terms with when you are in school and you get grouped with certain people, if you ever got grouped with the gifted people, you group with the people that got a little bit more going on, they gonna do the honors class and things like that. You are being grouped and separated for a reason. But when you get out into the world, you back out here with all the people that's regular, but then you out here also with the remedial people too. Now I'm not
Fuck
saying
'em.
anything about any particular person. What
Nah,
I'm
I am.
saying
Fuck
is,
them remedial people, man. Fuck them. Get them out of here.
what I'm saying is you're going to be the world is going to present you with regular and remedial all the time, even if you're special.
You hang
So the
around with
thing
special
is,
people.
no,
I'm just
no,
asking.
not special in a negative way. Not I'm saying not
Nah, I
negative
mean
in the
special. You said remedial, them special ass motherfuckers, short bus
no,
No,
special.
he said remedial,
but
then special.
I'm
You
talking
missed
about
it.
no. But special is also a term used in a positive way. So I meant special in a positive way. If you're one of the people that was, hey, we ain't gonna have y'all sitting in class with the rest of these. We don't expect much from these people. We need to put you in this different class. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna separate you. So you're separated, and you know what I'm saying, from the time you're a little kid to as far as long as schools you're gonna go, even college and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Ivy League versus regular. You know what I'm saying? You're separated. When you get out into the world, you back out here with these other folks that didn't get in. You see what I'm saying? Like if you were ever considered gifted, you're now in the world with the people who weren't gifted. You got to learn, and you got to sometimes just accept that I'm at a level that they're not. So I understand they're gonna ask
Facts.
certain things that I can't let them not being at my level bother me. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that the question he asked, if you just look at the question, I wouldn't tell him to leave because I know by the question he need to be here.
Well, nah, you gotta nah. So I don't know, man. This is how I see it. I'm an asshole. I'm not really an asshole, but I'm an asshole. Like if you short bus special like that, bro, I'm gonna send you to the short bus, bro. We gotta have a sorting system, and I think that we do in some places in society, and I think that we've gotten away from that in a lot of ways. We don't actually put people in their proper place. Like you got to go if you not pass, like for instance, let me give you an example. If you're in a class and you're deemed to be special, do you still hang out in the fucking in the fucking regular class with the regular kids, or
No,
do you get put in the special class?
no. Man, I totally get you. But my point was, we should have just kind of bypassed them. Well, that was what I was trying to say by saying, "Hey, I understand by the question he need to be here," and I was trying to get the conversation off him and go back
Okay,
to
okay,
what it was
okay. I
supposed
feel
to
you.
be
I'm
about.
sorry.
You,
I'm
you
just
know what I'm
angry.
saying?
I'm just angry. I'm sorry.
No,
Angry
I
black
get you,
man.
but I'm just saying,
Well,
the best we can do for those people is to at least let them listen to us. Because where they gonna get this type of information or something that is not quite on their level? Where are they gonna be exposed to it if we don't let them be exposed to us?
all right, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get this conversation back on track.
Mhm.
We
Shout out
spent
to
too much
the
time.
FBI.
Yeah. To the feds.
Right.
That's watching this space. Like,
Right.
yeah, like, uh, calm down. We're just talking about Cam Newton. So,
Seriously. Get the fuck
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
out
was
of
I
here.
was on that special shit, man. I was on the bus for a minute, bro. I was getting upset.
yeah. And you
PK was
know
like,
what?
"What corner did we turn? Why are
Yeah,
we
yeah,
here?"
yeah. This is a place, and this is a place for black men, especially, to speak our piece on whatever the fuck we want to talk about. So,
Hmm.
I mean, these I need help people. Like here's the thing. I anticipate that anybody that watches my program have already got it figured out. And for me to sit up there and push this message like I'm supposed to be helping you or something like that, which is cool, but it's borderline condescending. So we're all great minds here. We're all reasonably intelligent. We made some mistakes in our lives, a couple of us, Dre. But we but
I don't know about Dre. Dre live in Ohio. I don't know how many smart people are in Ohio.
Right.
yeah. But I mean, it's all in fun, and yeah, we do come up with quite a bit of solutions. But it's just like with Cam Newton, who
Mhm.
speaks his mind. We speak our minds, and we get scrutinized for that shit. And that.
How dare you have an opinion, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. How
How
dare
dare
I?
you?
How
No,
dare I?
no. One better, Dre. How dare you have an opinion that doesn't perfectly align with the females in your life? As a matter of fact, with all of them, not even just the ones in your life, with all of them.
Wait a
But
minute, Kevin. Wait a minute, Kevin.
but
Shut
that's
up, Kevin. Just look. Go to work. Bring your check home. Give it to your woman, and shut the fuck up. Okay?
Right?
Why
but
why
see
why are
that
we not at jobs now? That's
Right.
one of the things.
well, you know what though? That's why I say we men gonna have to get comfortable with letting women go through some level of suffrage. Because, like I said, I mean, with
Hmm.
Cam Newton saying what he's saying and people having this bad reaction, you should automatically know you're never going to qualify to be in his circle like that. But other men who saw women react to in a negative way to what Cam said, my thing was like if I'd have been on a date or something with a chick and she had a negative reaction to that, I would have pulled over. Like we pulled over to the side of the road. We wanted to have a talk real
No,
quick.
no.
What
This is
I mean,
what you
what you
do.
mean you got a problem? No. I'm gonna give her a chance to see if
Mm-mm.
she can clear what she means. I'm gonna give her a chance, but I'm gonna literally pull a call and be like, wait a minute, what you just said? You need to explain what you're talking about right now. Because just even saying something negative toward what happened, for me, that's enough that we about to basically call this relationship to an end before it really
Hmm.
even got started. We about to
Well,
call this to an end now.
no. We need to. We need to. I hate to say we need to use that often. Every time you do, this is what you do. You should bring up scenarios like that, like why you out. Hey, yeah, man. You see what Cam Newton said? That crap what he said. To see what the woman responds.
Mm.
And if the woman was like, yeah, he
Testing.
should have said that. You just get up
Hmm.
and leave. You put them in the fuck and ghost category.
I've been
Now,
doing
Well,
that
I ain't
lately
gonna
no,
lie,
with
you
the
shouldn't
with
fuck
the
them.
with
I
the
ain't gonna
Will
lie,
and
you
Jada
shouldn't fuck
thing.
them at all. But I'm just saying is, oh yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. Be a first question. Hey, you see what Cam Newton said, or what? Look, what you say? You see what Will Smith did for his wife?
Yeah, that's what I've been
And if
using.
they
Hmm.
be like, yeah, he was standing up for his wife, you get the fuck up. And you be like, oh
Curve
yeah,
them.
you know what? He was. You get the fuck up and you never speak to him again.
no. I mean, the thing is, it depends on how you talk about it, go about it. Because see, me, I don't mind asking women no question. Like there
Nope.
is no safe question with me. You know, what I mean? If you go out with me, I can ask you anything I want to. If you don't want me asking you, you don't supposed to be on the date. You see what I'm saying? That's literally
Mm.
what you're doing when you're with me. You know, like people say, this ain't no interview. Yeah, it is. It's my interview to you. If you don't like it, you can go home. That's what it is.
Mm.
But men need to be doing that. Like we don't need to be scared. And there's nothing. Oh well, you shouldn't bring this up on the first day. I bring up what I want to. Everything about me. I'm the opportunity. I'm giving
Mm.
a woman an opportunity to be in my world. I'm the only person that count on this date. That's why I'm paying for it. You see
And
what
you
I'm
know what,
saying?
Roger? And you know what,
Mm.
Roger? If a lot of men had that attitude, man, you wouldn't have all these so-called quote unquote bad bitches just trying you on any fucking thing or trying to play some kind of card or these shit tests, so to speak. Yeah, just be straight up with her from Jump Street. The real ones will stay, the fake ones, well, you know what happened with the fake ones. Maybe you'll get a little throat out of
Yeah.
it, but at the same time, you know, but that's what I'm saying. Just be straight up with these women. Stop trying to sugarcoat it. And most of all, don't listen to these blue pill betas about that shit. Well, what you supposed to do, man, is no. I would like if I was back in the dating market, yeah, I would go Roger's route. I'll ask some straight up
Definitely.
questions.
Well, or you can always wait. You can always wait until the broad hit the wall, and then after like you've been trying to get her for years, she'll date you after she been ran through.
Ain't
Boys watching.
nobody trying to use target practice.
You can
Ain't
always be the
nobody
backup
doing
plan.
that.
I mean, come on
Nah,
now.
bro.
It worked out. Look,
Nah.
it worked out for Will Smith.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Oh shit,
Hey
man.
man, don't do that to him. Don't do that. I don't think Will Smith knew her and then lost her and then
Yeah.
hung
He,
around. Hey, don't make it worse than what it is. Don't make it worse than
Well,
what it is.
so this
no,
is
man, come on now. Think about it.
this
Think
is
about it. You could always be a YouTuber that got on TV, talked about how I wanted this woman for years. She kept curves on me,
uh-oh,
and he finally came
ooh,
after many
ooh.
kids later and all like
Are,
that.
are are
And
you
now you
talking
Oh,
about a
I
get
know,
certain
I think I
online.
know who you're
finance
talking about.
professor, sir?
Yeah,
Are you talking
Yeah,
about a certain
yeah.
finance
and now
professor?
look, yeah,
Yikes.
and now you two sitting up here talking about that people shouldn't talk bad about her after
Oh,
you got online and said that she curved you for all them years, and then all of a sudden this. For real, dude,
Yeah, that's a bad look, man. That's
that's a
actually,
bad look, dude. You
yeah,
don't.
that
I
is.
yeah.
mean, no offense, to I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
You get on mad, you
well,
got mad. Come on now, you gonna be just. I
well,
hate to say, just as dumb as Will.
well, I think that what black men need to really actually do, you know what I'm saying, right from the beginning when you date women. I use something that I call the worst first. When I go out with you, I want to know the worst stuff. I don't really care what you all that into that much. I need to know what was the worst thing that was going on in your life. What was the worst you've been to people?
Mm,
What was the worst scenarios you've been involved in?
that's a good
Because see,
question.
a very rich man said something that is actually true. That we should be looking for happiness in all levels of life, but you got to understand what you can tolerate. I need to know how bad you are so I can know if I can even tolerate it. Because if you start saying something that I know I can't tolerate, this ain't going for a period. So
Mm,
I need to know what's the worst stuff about
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it's called vetting. Uh, let me say this real quick, and I'm gonna give Ryo the floor because he just got up here.
Hoorah.
I am 97 subs away from 3K. So for anyone listening that is not sub to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help me go ahead and get to 3K. In this mother, and and we'll celebrate then. So,
Kev a
uh,
whole famous now. Kev gonna walk on stage and start slapping niggas.
Oh shit.
you.
No, Kevin. It only if his wife. Kevin didn't marry a wife like that, so.
no,
Right.
no, I
She gonna
didn't.
give
Like,
him the
bitch,
look.
get up there and slap him. Kevin be like,
He
yes,
gonna
ma'am.
he gonna get up there and slap somebody.
Yeah, so definitely the short term goal is to get this channel to 3K. So not to try to steal anything from any other content creators, but help a brother out. Just so yeah, go ahead, Raya.
Peace, Kev. Peace of the
God damn, you
peace of
got a
the
fat.
chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Um, I think this. I think I haven't heard anybody. So since I haven't heard anybody, I'm just making the assumption nobody has uh, addressed this yet.
Mhm.
But it hasn't been missed on me that if you've been around long enough, like people like myself and Dre, who been around since some of the early days of Tommy and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that we were accustomed to hearing from a lot of these women were when you would make complaints about the behaviors of black females, which when men were making the complaints, what the men were really saying was they just want you to act better so y'all can get along so the shit can actually work.
Mm.
That's all men are saying. So the complaint is for men from the men's perspective is that they want it to work. One of the things that you will consistently hear, and you know this, Dre,
Mm-hmm.
y'all should choose better.
Right.
Oh boy.
But
Y'all
y'all
should
all
choose
act the
better.
same.
Now,
We only asking for sex and a sandwich. Shit.
now, exactly. So
I
now,
mean, damn, you can't even get that.
hold on now. So, but you have to really piece together what they're really saying when they say you should choose better. What they're basically saying is for them, they would never hold a black female accountable for treating you like holding her accountable for treating you like shit. But these will be the same females that'll turn around and say, "Y'all need to keep these guys in line."
Facts.
The same females that will make the same the completely different arguments against you towards men that they chose when you make the complaints about black females, they don't even give a damn what the female has done to you. It's
Mhm.
just that you should have chose better, which basically means that they're not going to give you any empathy whatsoever.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
Too bad.
what you see with this Cam Newton situation is that when he puts on the table what in his mind is the woman that he identifies as being the better woman, they still don't accept it. They don't accept it.
Yep.
So what they're saying is they have no inclination to be the better woman. They're not going to
Facts.
be it. They're not going to defend it. They're not going to support it.
Mhm.
Even though that was the bullshit ass argument that they were using early on to not hold the females accountable for being bad actresses. So
Mhm.
now when you have somebody of repute like him who is sitting there with all that money, and for
Mm-hmm.
somebody like him and this is what I've been saying for a long time in these spaces, there are many black people who have not seen a black husband and a black wife in a household that had love for each other.
Yep.
From what I'm seeing from
Mm-hmm.
Cam, that's what he saw.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's what he experienced.
That's
So
what he described.
that's his model. That's
Mm-hmm.
he ain't coming from the broken home and all that other stuff. He's
Mm-hmm.
seeing the model representation of what a good wholesome marriage is,
Mhm.
according to him, and he
Mm-hmm.
wants to replicate that. But the females, on the other hand, and this is what I said on Roger's panel one time, as it related to the Will Smith and Jada stuff. There are so many people in Black America who have never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Never. They
I'm
Yeah,
have
I
one of
agree.
never
I got a
grown.
sidebar question real quick, and it's in relation to what you're talking about. Out of curiosity, how old is Cam Newton, like approximately?
I'm 43, so I think he's probably about
them. Mhm.
34,
Oh, you same age
33.
as me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's
Uh,
about
I'm
33,
I'm
34.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
43 too, man. Just give you an example. The first time I done seen a man and woman love each other and really raising a black couple raising a child, I hate to say this, is my cousin that's 50. The one I told you
Mm.
just had his first kid at 50. And I
Mm.
tell him I will play with my little nephew all the time. And I tell him, I said, man, I am just so happy for you. And he doesn't even
Mm.
understand 3-year-old run around. Man, if every parent, little boy could have a parent like you, and you know what I mean, a family that they'll love each other and they'll love. It's like, wow, man. I tell him, I said, man, I just wonder what you're gonna be when you grow up.
I think
Like you
it's
got it.
somewhat
Hold
it's
on,
somewhat
hold on. Let me finish my point. Hold on, let me finish my point.
okay.
Yeah, you
Now,
don't see it. You don't.
the reason why I brought that up is because most of the time when these people are talking about like I grew up around my great grandparents, so even though my mom and dad divorced when I was 2, I saw two people, and all of my aunts and uncles were married on both sides of my family. So I saw two people who were married for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the family standard.
Yeah.
So much so that even when my dad was married to my mom and got my brother and sister mom pregnant, when they tried to bring my sister to my great grandparents' house, they said hell no. They said this is Junior's mom. This is your wife. This is who we respect. That woman right there, we don't know her and we don't care to know her. So she can leave and take the baby with her. And that was it. That was the standard of the patriarch and the matriarch of our family. And so my point is that it's gotten to the point where black females are openly stating that they will not be the epitome of those kinds of women who were married for 50 years to black men, because we gotta look at this the stats historically. Up until the 60s, man, our marriage rates was in the 80 to 90% range. So it's gotten so bad that when a black man says he just basically wants the same thing that his parents had, a wholesome marriage by a respectful woman, That's controversial. I don't think people
Sacrilegious.
really understand how truly bad that really is. That is basically the kid and caboodle right there. That's it. It's a for somebody like that that's worth $75 million in Black America, he should not have to make any complaint about finding a wife.
Wait, hold on.
Period.
Wait, Rael, the issue is he doesn't make enough, bro. He just needs to man up.
Right. Right. You act like
You
he's a
know what?
trillionaire. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck that you might have 100 million. It don't mean nothing.
But
I got
you
a
know what's
vagina.
sad though? It's sad that that is the language that I've heard far too many black men use. You know what I'm saying? Far too many. And for me, one was far too many to hear such a nutball idea. Um, but right, you make a good point. And you know what? Honestly, it saddens me to know that there's so many brothers and sisters out here that don't even know what a loving family looks like. You know what I'm saying? I took it for granted when I was a kid
Oh,
that
you
two
had one
people would
lucky.
love each other and have children. Yeah, I mean, I took it for granted like a mug because not only did I have it, you know what I'm saying, my cousins had it too. So like, I go to their house for the night. It's gonna be a mom and a dad there, and I'm the nephew spending the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did that in so many different homes, you know. And I've said before, like even when I was a little kid, one of my best friends, his dad had to be in prison or something. I always assumed his father was at work. My daddy would be at work, and my cousin daddy was at work, and my other cousin daddy at work. Everybody daddy was at work. So when I came by his crib after school, I just assumed his daddy was at work. And I got
Nah,
another
he
little
was out
friend
getting
that,
a pack of cigarettes, bro. Yeah.
nah, bro, I'm talking about when I was in grade school, I went to kids' houses to spend time, as little kids, and I just automatically assumed that their daddy was at work. And I didn't realize until I was much older that these niggas either in prison or dead or whatever done happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never met these dudes' fathers. You know what I'm saying? Never met these dudes' fathers. And to me, that's sad. Now, one of my best friends when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure his father was selling drugs, whatever the case is. Never met him, and I'm pretty sure his brother got locked up. And I ran across him one time, and then I found out when we was around 35 years old. Might have been it could have been 38 years old. This nigga got hit with 40 years. And I'm sitting there like, man, this was my best friend when I was a kid. And this nigga got a sentence that's longer than what he's been alive. I wouldn't even know how to process that mentally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's
look,
actually it's a very, I don't know. It depends on the generation you come out of. Like, so for instance, the Xers may have seen that to some extent, but a lot of you younger millennials and Zs, like I'm a part of that cohort, and too many functioning relationships is not the norm that we have grown up in. We didn't see too much of that. Not even in our extended families. We didn't see too much of that. Outside of if we did, for instance, the individuals who did have a nuclear family and stable, healthy household, um, when we look around us, what we mostly see is mostly single parent households. That's what we see.
well, the thing is,
Mhm.
what makes this so compelling is the fact that um, I'm pretty sure there are men up here, um, probably, especially you, Mrs. Z, probably have heard
Mhm.
things maybe personally when you talk to a black female that's ADO level. When you ask for the positive attributes that make a wife to a man, many times what you will hear from black American females is, well, if you want all of that, you need to get you a white woman. And
Pretty much that
so
sentiment. Yeah. Yeah.
so um you sound like, now this is very interesting that you will have women say, black American women say this, because on the one hand, they will criticize us for comparing them to white females.
Is this not just a reframing of you're not man enough to handle me? And is
Basically,
this the reframing of
yeah,
that?
yeah, basically. But what they're saying at the same time is, when they say you need to choose better, part of that is saying that you should choose a white woman. But when black men
Mm.
choose white women, they pissed. They're pissed. And it makes no sense because you're basically saying, nigga, I will never give you that. That just
Yeah.
goes against what I have been built and constructed to be as a black woman. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna ever give you that. But then when you go to this Becky and you get that, she's pissed off that you actually chose somebody for you that's better for you. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's backward. It's a backwards. It's a circle jerk. And this is one this is one of the things that I have pushed on Roger's panel more so than anything. Black men, you gotta stop falling for the gaslighting, because all this shit is gaslighting.
Oh, it's
Definitely.
collect. I
That's
was gonna
all.
say that earlier, but I didn't want
That's
to
all it is.
interrupt you. It's
Mm-hmm.
collective gaslighting.
Yes, that's
Definitely.
all it is. And
Well,
see what happens to black men is because black men have been trying to, mostly black men, especially coming from broken family background. Because if when I was younger, black men, it was a whole different type of black man. The adult black men, and they didn't have to be in their 30s either. I'm talking about motherfuckers who was 26, 27 in the church. Man, them motherfuckers didn't play around, boy. They would jack your ass up. Like it was a whole lot more masculinity back then. And
definitely.
so what I'm saying is that when you look at this particular type of situation,
Mm-hmm.
they're waving the white flag. They're saying, I'm just gonna go over here with these white folks, and that's what I was saying on your channel the other day, Roddy. What they have done is rebranded blackness as cultural incompetency. I said it the other day. When black people were dressing in suits, more respectable, going to church every Sunday, quality families, and all of that type of stuff, or more intact families. Man, these motherfucking liberal Democrat type people fought black people tooth and nail from 1865 to the 1960s. They did. But once they got black people to choose a more liberal approach to life and behavior, now black people are invited to the party. But black people are invited to the party under the guise of what liberal white people have defined what the new blackness is, which is basically a fucking train wreck of a culture. And so now they're the cultural gatekeepers of the incompetency that they keep pushing on the group. While black men are saying, look, we want the marriage, we want the family structure, we want the leadership, we want to do all the positive things. They want to be woke. They want to be, um, Lizzo at a game where she does something that's so heinous as far as Kobe Bryant was concerned. Rest in peace to him. He left the
Walking
game.
out with the
He walked out the
assless
game
chaps.
because he didn't
Hmm.
even want to see. He didn't even want his daughters to see that. But
Hmm.
but guess who got all the backlash when he died tragically? It was him. You didn't see Lizzo get no backlash, but Kobe Bryant did, and he got backlash for merely being a married man to a non-black female.
Hmm.
It's gone. It's over. What we thought blackness was, that reality, what we thought the black community was, it does not exist anymore. It is gone. It's over.
What Kobe was a very functional man too, and
Yeah.
we got to acknowledge the fact that now I know white folks control what was on TV and all that type of stuff, but yeah, you got far too many sisters that have embraced a dysfunctional culture, and to me that just came out with what Cam Newton said. I'm not looking for dysfunction. I'm looking for something functional for the long term. Now Cam already done got kids and whatever, and I get all that, but he's saying, hey, even regardless of that, for me to get married to somebody, I need a functional woman. And I think a lot of people are upset that somebody's actually just saying, man, can I get a functional woman? And I
I
really do believe they get upset over that.
I don't know
Go
if
ahead,
it's
Mr. Z.
just no. Thank you, Raj. I don't know if it's just anybody. It's specifically people on that level, right? Because it's who he is, it's how big he is, it's the name, it's the fame, and it's the fact that he's influential, right? And so Cam Newton saying that and not playing his role, and his role is it's even worse than the Will role. It's the Michael Eric Dyson role. It's the we always chastise you niggas role and mark it as constructive criticism, right? And the fact that Cam didn't do that, right? And the fact that he's nibbling at the edges of some Kevin Samuel shit. That's what they really nobody gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. He's nibbling at the edges of some Kevin Samuel shit, and they can smell it. And it's and the more of us that sound like that, the more you're gonna see them lose their mind because you're supposed to come at a discount, if not free,
Well,
right?
I'm not even gonna lie. Just as like some of you that have kids, do you have any kids at the dating age? And like I'm not even gonna lie. If I could like say if I could go back and tell my past self, I hate to say I probably have to agree with something my son said. Don't date black women.
Damn. That's
And
what a lot of
either
that's
one
what
of
a
my
lot of
sons
guys are
say,
saying in my
either
gen.
either my son said that. My son is like, oh, I don't date black women.
Your son's probably in my age category then. Probably somewhere
My
around there.
son is 20. And I hate to say, my other son, both of my sons, they don't date.
They're
Like,
in their early to mid 20s, right?
no, my youngest son is about to turn 21. My oldest son is 23.
Yeah,
Neither
so
one
yeah,
of them
early to
date
mid.
black
Yeah.
women.
Yep.
Period. Like literally, he said I tried to, but they just a complaint. And what's so bad is it's like and I remember his mother. You should tell him all that. Well, here's the question: the best mom that they saw was you.
Uh-oh.
But I said, so think about it. I said, what can I tell them? I mean, like if you see most men who got I'm not saying that white women don't do that crap too and won't fuck you with the system whenever times get hard, but at least you don't go through all the shit during the relationship too. So I mean, like I hate to say, I expect to be treated like shit when a relationship's over. But I mean, like, well, goddamn, at least I can get the sex in the sandwich while the relationship is going on.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's some dysfunctional shit too, man. That ain't normal either.
Right, but you understand
that ain't normal. I get what you're saying, but that's not no normal
sandwich
shit.
While the relationship is going on, at least. I mean, God dog, I expect to be treated like shit when it's over with.
Well, why do people? I don't know, man. Like shit's gotten so bad, man. Where it's like people think that it's acceptable to be mistreated after the end of all relationships. It ain't supposed to go that way, bruh.
You sound like you want something cordial, sir.
Well, yeah,
What
I mean that's
planet
what
are
it
you
ought to
on?
be. That's what it was at one point. I've had
No, I agree
cordial
with you.
relationships with some of my past exes. It doesn't necessarily mean we were romantic anymore.
Right.
You know, that shit ain't normal when you got women that are mistreating you because you guys aren't seeing each other in a
You
in
mean
a,
when
in
they
a,
scorch
in a, in
earth
a romantic.
everything?
Yeah, man. Like that's problematic as fuck. You got problematic people
They
in your
figured
hands.
they have that. Remember, like I said, this is the same son that got mad at me for saying something about women. Was the one whose mother had lied in and almost had the Amber Alert. They was about to come out issuing that when I had my son. And if it wasn't for the police talking to his older sister probably saved my life because she's like, it was like the cop asked. He's like, yeah. The cop asked, oh, don't worry, we're gonna bring your brother home. And she's like, he with his daddy. I'm like, huh? I'm like, yeah, he always go with his daddy.
You know,
what? I mean, can you understand what I'm saying?
You know,
I just wanted to say real quick. See, when the relationship is over, it's like one chick that I really talk to for every.
You cut out, Raj.
Yeah.
Struggle wireless.
You cut out, Raj. We missed
Hey, Raj, don't let Ohio tell you nothing about their internet. Raj, don't let that happen. Ohio better don't say nothing.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. Hey man, ain't nothing good in Cleveland. That's all I'm saying. Nothing good in Cleveland. Joe King Noah said when he was playing for the Chicago Bulls, ain't nobody going to Cleveland.
I know you ain't talking. Your ass probably out there pulling drive-bys and using your show and using the show as a dude. I was at home running the show.
No, hey brother, I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you what Joe Keith Noah said when he happened to come here and start seeing what was going on in the world. He just came to assessment that there's nothing in Cleveland. But all I was saying was, all I was saying was that
Chicago. So come on now, you probably out there committing crimes as we speak. You're like, no, nigga, I was at home on the live stream.
Roger, you do be dipping out, bro.
But that's right. That's what he's using as an excuse. He hit mute while he's firing.
Just an alibi, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You be saying I gotta go handle some business.
Look,
hey, what y'all said about tire screeching?
Firing bullets.
Pow, pow, pow. Oh shit! I forgot to mute. No, I'm like Dre. I just work a lot. That's all.
Right.
But
man, every time we hear you cut out, it's always some sirens in the background. Dog. I don't know.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hey, real quick. Gilgamy, say something. Is that you?
Yes, it is me. Gilgamy from Montreal.
That's the real one. That's the real guy. That's him. That's him.
Greetings to everyone.
Hello.
What's going on, bro?
Greetings, my brother.
PG.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that I'm gonna cut on up out of here. Like I've only talked to one young lady.
No, nigga, you put your camera on. Where the hell you at?
I'm about to roll. I'm about to roll out.
Break it into a bank right now.
Yeah. I've only talked to one young lady after our relationship was over, and I do recommend men really not talk to a woman after a relationship is over, because usually you get a bad report about a lot of negative stuff that happened. And my thing is, if the relationship is over, just let it be over. You know, do you really need some closure about the situation? Y'all figured out y'all not good for each other. She's usually gonna have a decline in her behavior towards you. Why open yourself up to it? That's my thing. She's gonna get worse than what she was, so why talk to her at all? Now, I know a lot of people say that's cold, but my thing is that's the real world. Why would I subject myself to you being worse than you were when I already figured out you wasn't good for a relationship? So you was at least trying to keep me at that particular point, but now you ain't even trying to keep me. I really can't expect nothing good from this situation. So talking to you is probably going to be bad for me. And she is a woman. Y'all know how society is. Just let her be. That's my thing.
Hey, Roger, you gave me a good piece of advice where I'm not even going to lie. I should kind of do that too. Like I've taken a new watching your show has made me, like you said, I don't become friends with women. Period.
I'm gonna make this statement.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a good idea. You don't become friends with women, period. There's no point.
Real quick, I'm gonna make this statement so I can before Roger leaves. I wasn't trying to advocate to be friends with women. That wasn't what I was trying to get at.
I'll learn that from Roger.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was trying to get at. What I was trying to say is that, you know, if you see a woman that you've been with out in life, the automatic reaction shouldn't be a negative experience or a negative encounter. That ain't it. You know, if you're seeing someone that you've been in a relationship with, it should be cordial, right? Or should it not be? Because apparently what people are basically reporting to me is that they're having bad experiences with women that they've been with in the past. And it's like, why is it that way? You know, things didn't end on bad terms. It shouldn't be that way.
Well, a lot of women look
and
at
I agree with that.
A lot of women is like this. If you go out and find somebody or you're happy, it's a problem. That your happiness kills their joy. Like, you know, I've dated. Just give an example. That's the reason.
That's so horrible.
No, but listen, that's the reason why.
Let me just say this real quick and let me go, Drake. But I do agree with you.
Nigga, you got that bank gonna be there. You only break it to a second.
No, I'm saying what you're saying is so real, and I've heard it from so many different people. To me, I don't need to do it anymore. You know, not that I've really had bad experiences from exes, because I don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I can't tell you what my exes are. The only one I know, I only know of one at this particular time. I don't know where she lives. I don't have her address or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I talk to her every blue moon when she called me. That's about it. But the rest of them, like, once we stopped talking, we literally stopped knowing each other that day. It just took them a while to figure out that we don't know each other anymore, because I never called. I don't know if they was expecting me to call and things like that. But yeah, my thing is, once it's over, it's over. It's dead. So I'm gonna let it be. And I've seen far too many people talk to their exes and a lot of negative stuff happened, and sometimes police get involved. So my thing is like, it's just a bad idea 9 times out of 10 for a black man to talk to his ass. It don't usually work out for the man. So my thing is just don't do it because it don't work.
No, but I mean,
y'all have a good one. I got to
most of
slip
the
up out
time
of
we
here.
don't talk to them
All
anyway.
right,
Rush.
Roger.
All right,
No, I'm saying most of the
Hey,
time
man,
we don't
Make
talk.
sure to bring
Hey,
make sure
bro,
to bring
make
the
sure-
body to the landfill.
Yeah, man, buy your landfill and make sure you give me my cut. You know, have fun at the
Right.
bank, bro.
Hey, Kev, man, you got a troll in the chat, man. You need to block them, man. They keep flooding your chat, man. That kind of person, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hey, Gilgamy, what's going on, man? Go ahead and tell us what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so I was in the beginning. I was in the chat earlier, but I had to leave.
Mhm.
And when I came back, I was hearing Rael describing the US women and how we were not the US would be interacting with your women actually, and their interaction with their relationship with their men. And what Rael was describing actually happened to me because my ex, the one who was actually planning to marry, she was actually from Florida, so a sister to Miss Lucy.
God damn it!
Damn you, Florida.
and once I was trying to inquire into the situation in the United States, and I had to describe to her after we split up the situation with Dr. Dunbar, how he was the people the women he was interacting with were basically saying that he was too strict and everything. And then she said something to me, but you kind of like that. I mean, what do you mean? What she said, I was suspecting that you would end up with a white woman. And I said, what do you mean? Oh, because you're always too strict. You don't take any bullshit. You don't like attitude. If something doesn't go your
Can I
way,
ask you a
you
question
reject
when
it
you finish?
automatically. What you said?
I want to ask you a question when you finish, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
He's like,
So,
cat.
so when she said she suspected I would end up with a white woman because I would be too strict, that I do not tolerate attitude, and actually I have a short, despite maybe I may seem polite, but I have a very short patience when it comes to nonsense. So I cut it really quickly. And then she said that's really an African kind of thing because they said that in the United States black women are more easygoing with that kind of attitude. And what Wild was describing, I had to ask her, what do you mean? But doesn't that mean if I would end up with a white woman because I don't accept nonsense because I'm too strict? That doesn't imply that black women, at least in the United States, would be more prone to nonsense. And she basically said yes, but that's the way they are. I said, something that it was actually strange to me because she displayed way better attitude than what you're actually describing because she was prone to cooking. And that's when you observe that they seem to have, the hive mind. Even if she wasn't that much
Shout
like
out to
that,
Nameless.
even if she wasn't that much like really like that, she associated in a strange way with the other women who were like that, and she was kind of
Yep.
sympathizing with their nonsense.
It's
It
a
was
Living
matter.
strange to me.
vicariously through them.
It's
Yeah,
a matter. Well,
exactly.
no. So I wouldn't even say that. A lot of people try to make these funny. Like I said, I'm small brain over here, dude. So listen, I gotta fucking insert into slot A, into slot B. It's that simple for me. It's just a matter of degrees. A lot of these women are like that. They say they're not like that. For them, it's not a flick of the switch. It's a turn of the knob. Okay. So it's not as though you just turn a switch on and off. A lot of these women, you turn the knob. Basically, have you ever just think of it like boiling a frog. Like you can't do it all at once. They don't flip it all at once. It's like think of a light. You ever had a light in like an older apartment where you turn a knob and the light like
Yeah, you
goes
press the
and
knob and
gets
then you
it's more
slowly turn it
it's
to
more
light it up
bright.
more.
It's
Yeah,
called a dimmer.
yeah. It's like that. That's what's going on in those.
It's called what, a dimmer?
Black women.
It's called a dimmer switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dimmer switch. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's going on there. So it's like as you know, it's already there. It's just a matter of degrees for them.
Well, the thing is and see that.
Well, before you go, I wanted to ask Guy me a
Oh yeah,
question.
yeah,
If
that's
that's
right.
all
That's
right.
right. You did. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask him, do you not? And this can also go out to the panel, like everyone here as well. Do you guys not see those sorts of types of questions as like instant red flags to kind of nuke the relationship? Because I do.
Definitely.
I
Yes,
mean,
absolutely.
Rael's vindicated because what Gilgami just described is exactly what Rael was describing a little while ago.
Hmm?
Like exactly.
Like I
Yes,
see those as hardline red flags to nuke your
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
I'm no longer with the ex, and
Hmm.
actually, I went.
Gilgan, before you go,
Yes,
was she African?
no, actually, she's literally in the similar situation as Mr. Z. She's a Haitian
Haitian
who
descent.
grew up.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
And I was gonna ask you was she Haitian too. I was gonna ask you that. I just
Rael,
said
I
was
see
she
what you're doing. I see what you
Haitian?
doing.
Wow.
because I had a certain thing for the diaspora, So
Hmm.
I'm a real Pan African. I call it bedroom Pan Africanism, So uh,
Oh man.
but
Hey, one
unfortunately,
thing.
learning about the situation in the United States actually troubled me because the first time I heard about the money hands situation,
Yeah,
when I
money
read that
hand.
it happened in the 60s, the first
Hmm.
word that came to my mind was betrayal because I didn't understand how come
Mm.
your sisters could betray you in the very period while you were trying to uplift them, which is very. And when I understood that, I said, you know what, the brothers in the States are actually in danger. That's why I observed that the black family in the United States is the one who has been the most fractured. And it took me a lot of research and time to begin to understand it. And then it's through your conversations, the Roger Report, and everyone here, and all the research that I began to understand what happened in your area and how much it was the hardest degrees of corruption of the black family worldwide.
Well,
Mm.
and I don't know if any of y'all actually talk to African women, but I do.
Occasionally.
I have plans to actually meet with some later on this year. And one of the things that I have learned, somebody has some
Yeah, I don't know whose background
interference.
that is.
Dre, he watching TV, bro.
Dre, mute up, man.
Hmm.
Kev, mute Dre up.
Dre.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, um, this virginity thing is a very powerful piece,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why virginity is so powerful because it makes me go back to something a black woman said to me when I was in undergrad. She said, my black American friends, my white American girlfriends are completely different than my foreign girlfriends.
Mhm.
Mm.
She said, now this was, we weren't even talking about bad relationships with black women. She just came out of the blue. I don't even know why she told me. She said, for my foreign girlfriends, she said they act completely differently. She said my white American friends, my black American friends, she said they'll hop on the first dick moving. She said,
Wow.
but my foreign girlfriends, she said, nah, they don't get down like that. She said because she said in their culture, virginity is currency. And
Mm.
she said that even as it related to her friends that she had from the continent. And what I found is when you hold that line as far as that standard, because virginity is not just virginity for virginity's sake. Number one of the main reasons why it has always been pushed is to actually protect women from themselves. But also having a virgin daughter that you betrothed to somebody else, it helps bring families together. It helps bring families together. And so when you talk about things like paying a bride price for a wife, things like that, literally paying for the woman, like you making sure you get the best deal for you as a man and as for your family in terms of extending your bloodline. So whenever I have come across any females who are African who know the culture, one of the first things I ask them, is, are African women raised to be girlfriends or wives? And it never fails. Every time I ask them that, Even if they tried to argue, when I ask that question, they shut the fuck up because they know. So, and then I say, well, if you have sex behind your family's back, I said, because based on your culture, if you're interested in the man, you have to bring that man to your family so they can vet him, especially your father. So if you don't even bring that man to your family so he can be vetted, you are admitting to yourself as a woman that he's not good enough for you. And if you still decide to deal with that guy when you are not even confident enough that he will get your family's approval and you still deal with him, then whatever happens to you, you deserve it because you clearly broke the rules. You know what the rules are. The rules are to protect you. And if you have a baby and you get pregnant and that dude don't be with you, that's on you. And you know how many times I've heard females over there talk about, well, yeah, um, the guy, my sister was dealing with a guy and he said he was going to marry this and that and the fourth. Man, them dudes, they hold the line at the culture. They might have a few chicks over here that they have no interest in marrying. The chick gave them some easy sex. They took it. And then next thing you know, 2, 3 years later, the girl says, well, my sister, he ended up marrying another woman. I said, yeah, them dudes don't play. They hold the line. They hold the line because they understand what the cultural competency is supposed to be for an African woman. They understand that. And I've had conversations because I've had enough conversations to learn the intricacies of how it plays out. And Yomi, I'm pretty sure he'll back me up on this. You know, when it comes marriage in Africa is a big ass fucking celebration. It is something that is really celebrated. It's just like the movie Coming to America. Like how festive it was is just like that. It is. I got videos that I have women who have sent me videos of their friends' wedding that they participated in, and it is a truly a celebration. It's actually beautiful to see. And
Here's a
so,
question.
it's hold on, let me finish. So when you defy that cultural standard as an African woman, there is a heavy penalty to pay. I was talking to one chick, and I'm gonna let you go ahead after this, PK.
Mhm.
I was talking to one chick, and we got on the subject of her virginity, and come to find out she wasn't. And I said, does your family know? Does your dad know that you're not a virgin? And when I asked her that question, I'll kid you not, she broke down and started fucking crying. Oh, we was talking on WhatsApp. She started crying because she understood how that particular, and she said, according to her, this is what she said. She said she only had that sex with that one dude. But she understands from a cultural perspective, that's all it takes for her not to be a married woman. He understands.
So this question isn't to uh discredit your argument, but I was just curious because I think I've talked to Giyogami before. It's been a while. But Giyogami, are you still in Germany or where you at now?
No, no. Snake Meds is in Germany. I'm in Canada, Montreal.
Okay, sorry, I got you guys confused.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I apologize for that.
Snake Man is from Nigeria but living in Germany. I'm from Congo but living in Montreal, Canada.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm trying to remember you guys. I know you guys
Yeah.
got different names, but I know I don't run into you guys every day, so it's a little
No,
bit,
no.
yeah.
No, we
But
talked to each other maybe last year on Autumn Styles panel. You asked me a question about the Ouroboros, if I remember correctly.
yep, yeah, that
Yeah.
was yep, that was me.
Okay.
So I kind of, I don't know how common it is for the bride prices in Africa and how it relates to the American currency, but I do understand that some of the games that are played in many African nations is that they sometimes leverage our currency and at least insofar as America is concerned and America's currency against their own situations, if that makes any sense. That which is why they can leverage a bride price from Americans. in a lot of ways. That's not to say it's bad or good, because I don't actually really have much of an issue with it really on its face. The issue is really that the devil is in the details. Um,
Well, I'll tell you this, PK, before he chimes in. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If she's a quality woman and she's been raised properly in Africa, and I'm not saying you go broke for a motherfucker, but and when you're dealing with a quality family, it's always going to be reasonable. Man, you pay that shit. I'm telling you, you pay it.
yeah,
I'm telling you,
I kind of sit on the
pay
fence
it.
about it, because the thing is, for me, I don't actually believe that a woman's virginity is equal to a man's productivity over her lifetime.
Hmm.
I believe that it is important, but to what degree is up for
I would tell
debate.
you why it's important. I would tell you why it's important because you get to be the first man to paint on that canvas
Hmm.
and mold her
Yep.
into the way that you need her to be for your family. That's the beauty and the value of it.
Yeah.
To basically to have a woman that you can mold into the wife that you need her to be for you, to be the mother of your children, and she follows that script and that blueprint to the T, man, that's priceless. You can't put a monetary value on that.
Well, it
Uh,
is. That's why
yeah,
they're leveraging a bride
I'm,
price
I'm
for
saying
men.
I'm saying in terms of like 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 needling it, like it's like, well, should I pay this? Like I'm saying what you're getting, because I know a lot, because as Black American men, we're just skeptical of paying for it. Like in our mind, because we just have not had the cultural, we haven't had the acculturation in something like that. I see where you're coming from, but I have talked to enough because from what I've gathered too, some of the females that I've talked to, they say that a lot of times when you give the bride price, a lot of times the family they'll return it back to you. They just want to see it's an act of good faith on you. So it makes them see what kind of person you are. And a lot of times they'll just return it to you just as a sign of good faith. Or they might, if let's say you paid 1,000, they'll give you back 500. So it's not just a lot of time it's when you're seeing a woman, it's not just a woman, but it's the family too. You want to see what the kind of family she's coming from too. And they are very hesitant. Even if they go behind their family's back and do something bad, they're gonna try to hide that shit because they know from a cultural standpoint what that means for them not getting married. And I have talked to some women over there who are absolutely beautiful. I'm talking about 22, 23, nice, beautiful lips, skin tone, curves, you name it. And I asked them, how many men have you had in your life to ask you to marry you? And they'd be like, none. I'd be like, what? I'm talking about beauty that just, I'm talking about like the 90s beauty that we used to see in a lot of black females that we used to like, the Nia Long and those types of beauty. I'm talking like the norm. That's the norm. Like it's like you just be amazed. I mean, I have sat and talked with chicks who have their friends over. I've seen them have ceremonies, religious ceremonies, where they had all their friends around, and you just be like, yo, who are them chicks over there? Like, they all single? And they be like, yeah, they looking for husbands. I'm like, what? Because there's so many beautiful women. You talking about 520 million women on the continent. 520. You're talking about a whole different cultural standard that we are just completely not used to. We're not used, like the fact that you can talk to women who got a father and you can sit down and say, okay, once me and you decide we want to be together, okay, now the men sit and talk and we negotiate and stuff like that. That's exactly where you want to be at as a man because now you got somebody else outside of you that holds her accountable to her cultural standard. It ain't just you got to keep her in line. She knows not to get out of pocket because she doesn't want to be an embarrassment to her family, get divorced, and be sent back home. So you're getting a whole lot more than just any just bride price you're giving up. What you're getting in return it's in most instances is going to be worth what you're paying. And most of the time they're not going to be trying to just tax you. Like you got some families that will try to tax people and stuff like that and be greedy. Those are kind of the people you want to stay away from. But from what I've seen from the conversations that I've had, that's not going to really be the case. But Diogo, he can speak more to it because he's from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I've heard this from time to time, and that's why I say it's not from the perspective of the version of necessarily paying the money. That isn't the version for me. It's just the I would say to some extent the principle behind it, as well as some of the caveats to it, because I think that, for instance, the way that the bride price can typically go is like you said, it's when you get down to it's really the devil can be found a lot of times in the details of what exactly that means, because if the linking in the families can essentially be taken from the man's paternal lineage outside of his control by the woman's family and essentially co-opted, that's a problem for me. And a lot of men are willing to look past that to some extent for the sake of his
No,
own
it's not. It's
children.
not. It's not like that. It's not like it, from what I've seen. Now, you like I said, you are in the driver's seat as a person who is coming there as I mean I've seen these women that I've seen them talking about their friends like it's a lot of white dudes from Canada, Australia, Europe going to Africa for wives. So you are in the driver's seat as it relates to the terms. And so when you're talking about a bride price, you're talking about a sit down where you actually negotiate. Now, sometimes a bride price might mean some cows. It don't necessarily have to mean like some money. Like it just depends on the family and what their needs are. And basically the to me, from what I'm seeing, the bride price is basically a show of appreciation to the family for raising a woman who is raised to be a wife and be there for you. So from what I'm seeing, and it's serious too, because I remember I talked to one chick, she was from Ghana, and she was like, her dad didn't pay the bride price when he married her mom. So it was so critical that when her sister ended up getting married, I forgot how she said it. She basically was saying how because he didn't pay, when she got her bride price that she got from her husband, I think had to go to her mom and dad or something like that. Like it's that serious because it's not about the money when it's done properly. It's about the act in terms of generosity. Like what they're trying to see more so than anything, if they're really following it to the T, is what kind of spirit of man are you? You know, so because this is the custom, and it's historically we know it's a historical custom, and you have dowries and you have dowries. So it's not like it's something like oh they just trying to get over. This is something that has been historically throughout the centuries. So they're just
Right.
basically trying to see based on your act of generosity, it would dictate to them what kind of man you are because they want to see their daughter with a man who is going to be willing to be productive and give those resources that she would need to help sustain her. So that's what they're seeing. They're seeing
Well, why
in that.
wouldn't you, in that case, why wouldn't you just do a dowry then? Like have their family pay a dowry to the man. That way he's accountable to her, right?
No, I'm saying you have some you have some cultures that are like that. Like I think in India, I think you have that type of society built. Like it's just in different places you have a dowry, and some places you have a dower. It just depends on where the place is.
Right.
It's not about trying to get over on the man. It's about when they're because again you're talking about daughters. So when you're
Well, I mean,
giving
the
away the
idea
daughter,
behind the dowry came from the fact that men they were more valuable over a longer span of time. You see, women are valuable for the sake of children and the
right,
rearing of children. But the
right.
thing is that men are more valuable for the sake of the generation. Because you get the entire generation is fucked if the man doesn't provide for that family.
Yeah, on that one end, yes, you're true. But the generation is also fucked when you ain't got quality women raising your children too.
That's
Heard about
true.
that shit.
I mean, we in
That's probably
America,
more
and we
important.
see that. I would say that would probably. I mean that has a when you don't have the right women raising your children. I mean, the teachers of the culture itself early on, especially foundationally, I mean, that's literally where you're going to have most of your problems stem from women not properly being the proper teachers that they need to be because they are the first transmitters of the culture. So if the women are rebelling against the culture, and I've said this to African women, if y'all don't listen and don't follow the culture, I said Africa will fall. I said, but if y'all stand up and defend it, then it'll be all right. And so that but you need women that's going to defend the culture. You
We
need that
I don't want
from
to. I
from
don't.
from the
I,
teaching perspective. So I don't look at it as both of them like one being more than the other. There's balance on both. You need both because you can have all the strong men in the world, but if you don't have like look at it in Black America, 51% of Black men middle class. A lot of these dudes is looking for competent women. Guess what? They don't exist. So those men, their productivity is there, but
Wait,
is it going to something that's going to be extending any bloodlines that's going to turn out to be powerful bloodlines as far as Ado's concerned? No, it's not.
right, it's wasted. I
It's
mean,
Yeah, I think
wasted.
I think I think this is worth going to Guy Ogami about because I think he may have some insight that me or you may be lacking to some extent. I know that you talk to more African people than I do, and Guy Ogami is African, so I would assume he does as well. So maybe he can provide some more insight to this because I mean I'm more like I said I'm more so I come from the idea of mostly a paternalistic sense of it. I don't really like the idea of bride price in general. I just don't.
well,
I just don't.
here's a perfect example. Just say if 51% of the men upper middle class successful and all like that, but these men never mate, never get married and stuff like that. Their assets and everything that they acquire, 9 times out of 10, they go right back to the state. Because, like,
Facts.
say I'm a middle aged man. I'm 70 years old. I done bought 2 houses, this, that, and the other. 9 times out of 10, when I die, I never had any children, whatever. My assets will get taken in taxes, go right back to the state. And so again, so I didn't transmit nothing on to another generation. All my hard work was just there for me, and the assets I had left when I died, they went to the state. Happens a lot when especially in the people in the housing market and that's you would not believe how many people die and like they have nobody, no friends like that, and like sometimes we clean out these houses and there'd be good shit in there, and like went to nobody, went to the trash man, went to
Damn.
the people cleaning out the houses. I mean,
Uh,
it's a lot. And I mean, like literally, we haven't even seen the big emotion, the big part of it yet. Waiting another 30 years, how many people are going to be dying who didn't have kids because there were no suitable, intelligent women out there to reproduce with? Or they realize, hey, this is the shit that I'm going to have to put up with. I'm opting out.
yeah, it's looking pretty harsh for the future
Yeah.
generations. But look, Gilgamy, I'm gonna let you respond to everything they're saying, and then we're gonna get some final statements.
So to go with to answer better with what PK was asking and go in line with Rael, one of my the grand patriarch of my family, the ones who told about something that he said that Rael remember, the one who said love is for the couple, but marriage is for the family. He also said, I remember when we were discussing one of my cousin's marriage, the bride price with the other family. And he mentioned something quite important. He said, in our culture, no one ever became poor paying the bride price. No one ever became rich uh, uh, by receiving the bride price. In other words, the payment is not supposed to extort money from the other family. It's to seal the deal and to recognize the contribution of the other side. Another point also from my family, I have a cousin who's living in Toronto. My brother-in-law who married her, he did not have to do the payment because she was living in Toronto, he actually housed her, my cousin, during the whole length of her studies, university studies. He paid for everything. So when he proposed in marriage, my cousin, her parents said that my brother-in-law wouldn't have to receive any payment because he already displayed that he would be willing to take care of her before already the marriage. So they just voided they considered that what he had already done for 4 years of my cousin's college years were more than worthy of what would be what they would be asking. So they said, you already done what has what you would be required to do. In other words, the payment is to seal the deals to remove any other quote unquote contestant to access the woman and to forge the alliance between the two sides of the family. It's really to seal the bonds. For example, in my culture, when we call marriage, we call it longo, which means union. And the anagram of longo is ngolo. Ngolo means force, power. In other words, the union forms the force, the power, because it is at the family, is at the basis of our society, because without it, our societies cannot work. And I used to think that our culture was pushing too much, ironically, marriage on women, but it's when I interacted with the Western culture that I said, I understand what they do in it. The old cultures understand something about the traditions of families that the younger cultures of the West seem to have lost. Without the proper structure of the family, the whole society is going to crumble. So that.
Hello?
Yeah, he went out.
Yes.
You went out. Say that again. You went out for a little bit.
What was at what segment did you stop
No,
hearing me?
you said it's for the family, and then you kind of cut out.
Yeah. I was saying that the marriage is actually for the family. The family is meant to solidify the different connections of the society.
Well,
It is
both
and the
families.
on
Yeah,
both sides
both
of the
families.
both sides. For example, my sister, she's a diplomat, but she's married to a Nigerian brother, and we had similar rituals during the ceremony, which is actually we found out that we had a lot of similar traditions. Is when we were saying on our side of Bakongo, we do it that kind of way during the ceremony, and then the Yoruba say, oh, we do the same thing in our side. Okay, and then the union was facilitated. And one of the things that sometimes African people are more reluctant to marry with people outside of the African tradition. Most likely, they don't like maybe to some people, especially the fathers and the aunties, don't like the children to go marry with the white people. Is because they say that white people don't have the same bond with their family. Because if there's a problem in the couple can go to the consulting to the mothers, the uncles, and then they can act as a tribunal for the problem of the couple if they wish. But with white people, it's not the same. In
Mm-hmm.
other words, technically, if your wife will be misbehaving, if I'm listening.
That's Judge watching
No,
TV
Dre,
again.
mute
Oh,
up,
I'm
man.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry. For example, if at the beginning of interaction with your wife to be, she's supposed to be also evaluated by your mother, and if the mother sees that she's improper, she would say send her back to her mother.
Mm.
And that's a shame for the other family because it's a way of saying you did not raise someone properly to be introduced to our family. And
Oh
that's a
no.
great shame that you see. And that's why every African can tell you the highest pressure on the children is on the eldest boy and the eldest daughter. The eldest daughter is understood that if the mother messed up with the eldest daughter, most likely her younger sisters are also in the same boat. So that
Mm.
the mother is going to put a lot of pressure to present the eldest daughter as the best product and say, if I manage to produce a good daughter, imagine the quality of the younger one. Because if you had all the time to prepare for the oldest daughter, and then you produce something that was of poor value, they're going to say, if when you had all the time, the work was mediocre, what can we expect for the other ones? That's why there's a lot of pressure in the hierarchy of the oldest children all the way to the youngest one, because you display the quality of your parenthood to the world by presenting your daughters to the other side of the family.
Mm. Boy, it don't get no better than that to me. I'm sorry.
Uh,
That's beautiful right there, boy. Cause
oh yeah.
because the family is vetting their own daughter for you. When she get to you, she already needs to be prepared. You don't have to. You just step in and do what you're supposed to do. You ain't got to cajole and convince and negotiate and none of that. Her cultural standard is that she's supposed to be a good woman for a man. That's it. And for her family. You don't get any better than that. This is why I keep saying like Black American. I was saying this when I was on the pro Black stuff in college. We have something to exchange. We might have better opportunities to make money, But we need that cultural exchange. We need the culture that the traditional African culture, whether it's Kenyan, whether it's Ghanaian, whether it's Tanzanian, whether it's Ugandan, you need it. You need it because what you realize is how much you've been going without. Just from a family, just from a marriage standpoint, this just goes to show you how important it is. When you go over there to get married, one of the things that's important for them because the standard is family is that they want you to bring some of your family members with you. That will be very hard for a lot of Black American men based on the cultural standard in Black America. There are a lot of Black men that just don't want to deal with their family. You know, a lot of women cackling hens, embarrassing. Like I have talked to African women who have said the men, the ADOS men that they married, and their friends who have married ADOS men, all of them have had problems with Black American men's their mother-in-laws. All of them have. I remember one chick said that she ended up divorcing the dude. She said that his own mother told him he didn't deserve such a beautiful woman as she was. His own mother told him. She kept interfering, and he was in his 40s. If you would have saw this chick, you'd have been like, dude, if you got to pick, dude, you a grown man, you gonna choose your mom over this? But she couldn't deal with him. She said all of them had problems with Black American men's mothers. So you're talking about something that's just on we're talking about the bedrock of any nation. You're talking about family, man. Family is the foundation of any good society. And so when you don't have that cultural competency on that level, that's why I don't deal with the pro-Black stuff because it's pointless. If you ain't talking about family, you ain't talking about anything, period. If you don't get that cultural standard intact from the foundational level, all that other stuff doesn't mean anything. And he just backed up everything that I've been saying. Powerful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If yeah, and you're right. If you don't have a foundation, then it's all for nothing, for real. But yeah, I'm getting sleepy, guys. I gotta go ahead and read this super chat, and we'll get these final statements. Greg, thank you very much. It says intriguing discussion. Family is the key, the source of strength, security, protection. You do need the man here. Well said. All right, guys. Whoever wants to go first, because I'm about to wrap this up.
I'll go since Dre likes to watch TV and stuff. So
Very
them dudes in Cleveland stay on TV, bro.
actually, I don't watch TV, smartass. So you should already know.
Hey, that's true. You always working. You ain't got no time for that.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I was sitting here looking at the wall. I think my TV has been on twice this year, and that's when I had a little visitor over to relieve stress.
I got you. I'm just fucking with you.
All right.
Oh, it's the truth.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just giving you a
All
hard
right.
Oh, I
time.
know. I know that. I know you fucking with me. That's okay.
Do you want to go first or?
Now we go ahead and go. I'm gonna go ahead and watch some more TV, as you say.
All right.
No stress reliever here tonight.
But I don't know, man. I got a hot take, and I don't think that people in Africa and Ryle, you probably won't like this. Um, I think it's you're hard pressed to find men uh in the United States or really mostly across the world that are going to be willing to pay a bride price in general because that's something you have to convince men to do. Something to keep in mind. I think something to consider is the fact that when you build a society, one of the major foundations is men building it in the first place. When men decide to opt out and not build it anymore, you no longer have a society. Or then all the women that you paid a bride price for in the first place will be taken by force. That's how that goes. It's happened many times throughout history. So I mean, it's not. it really isn't rocket science here. Unfortunately, bride prices in theory are good and can serve a purpose for the function of building up women to be a building block and a connection for families to get together. But ultimately, that building block always starts with men. And so you have to convince men. That's the whole point of the dowry, and why the dowry actually outlived, at least has the longest running history outside of the bride price. Um, there's a reason for that. You have to convince men to take on women. It's always been that way, always will be that way. Um, to some extent, women are important, but to what degree is always going to be up for debate, because women can always be procured either by force or by resource. Um, that's how we got to society, because when men get out of hand, with your Neanderthals, and they take them, you have uprisings, and humans will come over and fuck your shit up. It's always been that way. So I mean, I understand the point behind it, and I'm not completely averse to the idea, but ultimately, I don't think it's a long-standing practice that will stand the test of time, and at least not in terms of uh, building strong, long-lasting societies. Not really. For short tribal peoples, it will work. But once you start to expand over a certain point, that's when you're going to start to have issues, because then you'll have individual families vying for control over different things. And I mean, to some extent, we can see that with how many nations end up facing issues, and this extends outside of Africa. Different nations that have practiced bride price, and also dowry to some extent, because dowry has its issues as well. It's not to say that it doesn't, because it does. I mean, you can look at India to see. Um, you got honor killings and all the rest. So it's both of these things are questionable, but I think right now strong family foundations are important. So there is a case to be made for what you mentioned earlier, the bride price. There is a case to be made for it, but ultimately, I think that to some extent here in America, we probably would do and benefit from having somewhat arranged marriages, whether that be through a bride price or a dowry. That can be debated. But I would be willing to argue that 9 times out of 10, the most functional relationship here on American soil would probably be a dowry, not necessarily a bride price, because currently we have more functional men than we do have women, in my view. I mean, when you have 51% of your men in the middle class, the negotiating table starts with the men. You'll be hard pressed to get them to pay a dowry, because I would be willing to argue that at least most of the men in my category would be willing to let this shit burn before we ever would pay for a woman, whether she be overseas or here at home.
Especially now with our laws. I mean, you're gonna pay. Well, so wait a minute. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna pay for something, and then this something can take half my shit and leave me at any time it will? Well, what's the fucking point of paying for it?
So I think that solution would work if you're talking to a man who's willing to expat. But if we were to relegate this conversation to American soil, that ain't gonna happen. That's not going to happen. Not in any large percentage. I think that can solve individual men's issues, and I think that in the manosphere, for sure, that is one of the solutions, and I do agree to it. It can work for you, but I would be hard pressed to say that that will be the long running trend, because obviously Africa is going to go through its own issues insofar as this feminist shit is concerned, and many of these American cultural issues are concerned. So, and I would be willing to say that they're already facing some of them. So, I mean, like I said, a lot of this is up for discussion and debate, and I think that it is an interesting conversation to have. So, you know, I appreciate you guys sharing the topic with me and having a conversation. Nonetheless, though, I appreciate that.
We appreciate you coming through. Definitely.
I'll go next. I'll go next. Um, peace of panel once again. Chat. Thanks for having me up here once again. Especially a shout out to you, Gilgany. Always like when you come around and talk. I learn a lot about the cultural traditions, and the customs of the continent. And the more I hear from you, especially as it relates to family, the more it's enticing for me to go over there. Um, One of the things that I've seen throughout the years a lot from a lot of black men is the notion that the environment is going to be perfect for them to make moves in it. Um, and that's never been the way that any environment has been for the human. When things were in the most primitive state, the environment was harsh, but we either had to figure that shit out or we gonna die.
Heard about that?
So there's never going to be a perfect environment. Um, I have engaged with some of the females on the continent who have adopted Western um, ways of thinking. Um, and it's funny. It's funny when they talk to um, a Black American man and they realize that he knows enough about the culture to hold them accountable to it.
Mhm.
And because once when they see that, they know you've done your homework and they
Mhm.
actually have a respect for you doing that, because it's a show, it's a sign of respect for you to actually care enough to even want to even look at the women of whatever particular culture you choose as a potential mate in terms of a wife. That's giving them a lot of respect. Um, and the one thing that I really do appreciate is the fact that there is a cultural standard. If you marry a ADOS woman in the United States, more than likely there is no family there that is going to be there to keep her in line for you. That makes a big difference um, when you're trying to lead your family in the proper direction. And so, the reality of the situation is that um, from a cultural perspective, especially what black men are lacking, especially some of the things that black men are talking about, and I mean, I've seen enough over there. I mean, I've talked to enough, and I'm talking about natural beauties. I mean, no need for makeup or nothing. Just gorgeous women. If you like them dark, curved, nice eyes, I mean, they there. And they have a cultural standard in terms of family that they operate from. I was talking to two different sisters over there, and we were talking about children. And so I like to joke a lot when we start talking about how many children to have. So I would say 10, just a joke. Man, two different ones were like, that's it? Why not 20? I was like, what? Are you serious? They were like, yeah. And when you have women that want to reproduce you like that, man, that's a whole different kind of psychology. That's a whole different kind of mindset right there. That are eager to reproduce you and your progeny at that level and be confident too. I'm talking about 22 and saying, "Yeah, I'll give you 20." They like, if you can take care of it, like, yeah, I'll give you 20. It's a whole different kind of ball game. And so I just implore men, you know, brothers from America, just from the cultural standard, I have seen some weddings over there with Black American men in them.
Mhm.
And the looks on their faces, the excitement, the
Uh,
happiness that you see in their faces, getting married, being part of families, something that many of them were lacking in the States from a cultural perspective. Like they had relatives, but it's like I say all the time. blood don't make you family. Family is a way of operating.
Yeah.
And seeing these people embrace, Black American men, seeing men cry, people hugging them, different people, people just happy that they're getting married, seeing them dance at their own wedding, seeing them just. I've said this recently on Roger's panel. I'm like, when was the last time, man, any of us actually been to a wedding?
Right.
I mean, the last time I actually went to a wedding was my own in 2002.
Yeah.
That's the last time I've been to a wedding.
Oh, last wedding I was at was my mother's, and
And see,
before that, shit, I had to be about what, 14.
come on. So, you know what I mean?
That's a
It's
long
just
time.
simple stuff like that. Like, especially as you start getting older, like, it's like my ex uncle-in-law said to me, man, I'll never forget when he said this shit, man. He was Haitian too. He said, man, the older that you get, man, the more conservative you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, at the time, I was like, man, I ain't with all that conservative stuff, man. He's like, look, son, I'm telling you, this is the man that me and, my ex-wife sat down with, and he counseled us with his wife, who ended up being his ex-wife, but counseled us, asked us questions, is this what we wanted to do? Help guide us in making a decision to move forward like that. And looking back on that now, like he was absolutely right. Like when you start getting older and you start putting away childish things, if that desire is going to be there in you as a man to want something that extends beyond you, it's just going to be there, and when you have the ability, we have the ability to connect with the continent in ways that we've never been able to connect with the continent, and so, and to be able to learn too. A lot of times, when we go to these places, like we think like it's just about us, giving them something, but we're receiving a whole lot in return, in terms of the extension of family that we can have, and they will embrace you, And I'm not saying Africans are perfect, because they're not. You got some bad ones over there, but you got so many. I mean, if you can't, out of 520 million women, if you can't get one, or if you choose to have multiple wives, if that's what you choose, if you can't get some good ones over there, it just ain't meant for you. Because from what I've talked to, I mean, I've had conversations with women and their families, their parents, and they're just ready to go. They're like, hey, we ready for you to come over here. Just let us know when, and just get that embrace like that.
All right.
But until you get it, when you get it, you will know what I'm talking about if you choose to go in that direction. Because once you get it, it's going to make you look at things a whole lot differently once you actually get it. Because it's just going to signify something different than what you're used to as far as your ADOS experience. And so I really appreciate, man, Gil me coming up here. One of the things I love when he first said it on Roger's panel was love is for the couple, but marriage is for the family. I thought that was one of the most powerful statements he ever made, because it just really set it out what it really represents. And to know that you have women who are accountable to their family, to their mothers, to their sisters and brothers, to their aunts, uncles, to their fathers, to know that you have women that look like the kind of women you will want to, that you will be visually attracted to, that represent that cultural standard that you need, and know that they exist.
Man,
It really is a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate Guillaume for coming up here and backing up some of the things that I was saying. And I always salute him. Salute Guillaume.
Absolutely. So for my closing statement, just 2 points to address. To follow up on what happened with brother Cam Newton, I think he was absolutely correct. And to all brothers who would actually tolerate to live with a woman who would not be able to align with your own project, you basically dooming yourself. It's better to have one opponent outside, or even two opponents outside, than having one within. This is actually basic military actually. you're more likely to succeed in life while fighting two opponents at the same time who are outside of your walls than having only one inside your walls while also fighting someone outside.
Mm.
And to address what PK Angel mentioned um, concerning the dowry, the bride price in the context of the United States, I had a conversation on the Roger Reports channel. I think it was a year ago. Riley was also there to address the situation, and I also mentioned during that panel that considering the situation of the West, a dowry would make more sense in the context of the United States. The bride price would not make sense if you were to still live in the United States, precisely because your women actually working against you, the laws are working against you. The bride price would only make sense if you were to leave the confine of the United States to go live in on the continent. But if you were to live to remain in the United States, you would have to become what I call maybe ADOS 2.0 with new rules of engagement with the women, and only the women who be willing to present a form of dowry should be allowed to interact with you precisely because the laws are working in their favor and against you. They should be the one to present an act of proof of honesty by contributing to your wealth rather than the opposite. So that's all I have to say. So yeah, so long live what the statement of Cam Newton. I consider it to be basic marriage science, if you could say. There's no point to live with someone who's working against you, especially if you're planning to have children, because then you pretty much destroying the future of your own children by aligning yourself with such a woman. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for all of you for coming by tonight. What an interesting conversation. And uh, look, look. What Cam Newton said nothing wrong, despite what his actions might have been. And maybe he's really thinking about the things that maybe he has done in saying these things. And although he hasn't been able to find, well, we don't know or what he's got in the works or whatever, he hasn't been able to find a traditional woman like that, which he describes. We also have to keep in mind that he is a millionaire many times over. So, as you get up in that kind of net worth, that and what many people don't understand and realize is that it gets harder to find someone who is actually genuine and authentic. So being rich and having some form of wealth is a blessing and a curse as well. So yeah, I'll just say that. But it's like this. It's like there are certain groups of people, and I have to say that they're all melanated and Western for some reason, that we don't like to be checked on the worst shit that we can possibly do to tear things down. We don't, if and most don't understand. We would prosper if we had more traditional values, but I do realize it's 2022 itself. And the person that we had in the subject matter tonight, and the one I got in the subject matter tomorrow night, shows that we don't like people telling us good shit. We don't. And Cam Newton has completely demonstrated why there are black men right now, like not only within the space of the manosphere, but just kind of all over social media, speaking on things like this, is because a lot of this stuff we're getting tired of. Yes, we do have enablers and simps out there, but we do have black men who would like to see things go in a much better way. All these bad bitches out here, like I said earlier, you call yourself a bad bitch, it has that red flag feel to it, and you're pretty much letting us know that the people who not to fool with. I really hate being tired of doing these final statements because I feel like I'm just rambling, but you know, just for just from a black man's perspective, is that Cam Newton saying this and the reaction that he got for saying it just demonstrates how much those kinds of things need to be said. And just a big up to Cam Newton for saying it, and he's saying what many of us have said already. So black men just continue to be brutally honest, and maybe we'll get somewhere because if it keeps going the way it's going, like I said, by 2050, this whole thing will be over with. So anyway, thank you to the panelists. Is what a conversation we've had tonight. For the ones that were here and right now, Rael, Judge Dre, and Gilgamy. To the ones that stopped by, PK Angel, Mr. Z, and the Roger Report. Did I forget anyone? If I did, I'm sorry. But also, thanks for the super chats and for the cash apps. Seriously, guys, thank you for your support. And to all the new subs I gained through this broadcast, yes, I am 95 away from 3K. So let's keep pushing forward. And salute to all of you. So, and also thank you to the chat for keeping things moving in an intelligent manner, and for the moderators. You do your job pretty well. So, anyway, that's it for now. This is Kev. This is BMBBH. Long live the habitual line steppers. Kev, we trust. I'm gonna win. We are gonna win. Till the next time. Peace.